If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show. Welcome, everybody, to the live broadcast. Don't wait to be great. And I am your host, Mr. Derek Forston, and I'm super excited that you guys are here. But if you guys can tell me that, if you can hear me loud and clear before I get too deep, looks like I'm having some technical stuff going on today. So I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me. So if one or two of you all can just tell me in the chat that you can hear me loud and clear, that'd be good enough. But again, welcome all. Appreciate you all being here. And again, as I said, my name is Derek Forston, and we teach people right here on this channel how you take a normal everyday property, residential, a 4-bed, 2-bath home, 3-bed, 2-bath home. It can be a 2-bed, 1-bath home, and how we use that to take people from homeless to hopeful. We also do this in what we call a shared living environment. So again, a lot of the people that we serve in this environment, which we call independent living facilities, they can't afford to go out and buy their own home, their own apartment. And sometimes they can't even afford to get their own private room. So this shared model that we introduce all over the world now is what we teach. So again, no matter what you hear tonight, the gist of what this is, man, is the love of God, real estate, and social services all meshed into one. And again, we've coined the phrase and we trademarked independent living facility. And that is simply an environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So it's kind of like those group homes, but very different in the sense of getting them started. No state oversight, no state permission. I don't have to go and ask all of these permissions from people, right? This just takes the love of God, man, some patience, right? The knowledge and the know-how, of course, right? And that's where great coaching comes in at. But other than that, man, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, man, this is the exact place where you need to be. We're going to be talking about some things tonight in terms of, we've been getting some questions about some, should we buy or should we rent it? So we're going to be talking about that. Should you buy or should you rent your first facility? And if I can get my computer to act right, I'm literally going to show you guys a property that we took, that we, with the mindset to, buy it, fix it, and maybe turn it into an ILF, but it ended up being something different. So I'm going to show you guys a way that how you can also buy these properties. But granted, most of us actually do lease and rent these properties. I still do the same. So again, no matter where you're coming in, that if you can buy the property, great. But if not, you can probably surely rent one or lease one. So again, thank y'all so much for being here. We super appreciate it. Again, that's who I am. I'm also the founder and thought leader of Forston Consultants. And that's where we go all over the world teaching it. So me, my wife, my family, my mom, we're all a part of this thing, right? Again, simply, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, and you just kind of never knew that you can mesh them all together, that's exactly what my job is. So, and at any point, if you guys have any questions or concerns about what we're talking about, make sure you let me know. I'm going to pull up some slides and stuff. Also, go ahead and put in the chat where you guys are tuning in from. Good to see you, Terry. You and I was just kind of going back and forth online on Facebook, I think. Good to see you, Miss Landy. It's so cool that your name is Landy. And our event, January 31st, guys, is at the Hotel Landy in Orlando, Florida. So this Friday, guys, is actually the last day to book those tickets. So I'll be putting that information on screen as well. But if you didn't know it, we have an event, guys, January 31st, where we're going to be talking about this very model in terms of housing, but also the whole event is being thrown by Don Daniel, the founder of Pill Method International, where he teaches you guys how to be debt-free, how to eliminate debt, cancel interest cost, all of those things that we need to know, right? And all the things that the bank doesn't want us to know. So between Don and I, Don teaching you guys how to become financially free, and we're teaching you guys how to actually make some money and be the impact in your community. We think it's pretty genius to join this together, and that's why Don and I are going kind of all over the place now doing this. Don's got an idea to take this from city to city, just like we kind of do what we do, right? So we're meshing it together. So again, January 31st, and as soon as I find my old banner here, it's popclive.com. So that's POPCLIVE.com. And that stands for the Pillars of Prosperity Conference Live. And I'm actually going to put that in the chat. Let me see. So again, just go ahead and put in the chat where you guys are from. I love to kind of shout you guys out in terms of where you're from. I got a lot of people coming from South Carolina, North Carolina. Not sure where you guys are finding us at, but we're super excited about that. So as you guys begin to kind of put in the chat where you guys are located, and also any questions that you have about this independent living facility model, because again, that's what we're also going to be talking about at the Pillars of Prosperity Conference, guys. How can you be the beacon of light in your community, right? How can you get into this game and you don't need a license? It doesn't require for you to buy the property. I got a property for sale right now in Warner Robins, Georgia, that's listed on my Facebook and Instagram page right now. You don't have to go and buy that place. You can rent or lease this property. Because guys, if you know anything about my beginnings, man, I was a poor social worker, barely making ends meet, right? Begging God to change my life through real estate and through helping people. And dummy me, guys, I didn't know it, but everything literally, man, that I asked God for, he kind of gave it to me. Right. So that's kind of my job of coming here to this channel, because I promised God many years ago, I said, God, boy, if you let me get into this and it changed my life, I'll go all over the world teaching it and I'll never take any credit. So I'm going to show a couple pictures right off the bat. We always get questions about, Derek, what does it look like? So I'm going to show you guys that, of course, but more importantly, I want to show you guys a property that we bought. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about this whole birth strategy thing, right? So two questions that I tell you guys, man, I take a lot of strategy calls every week. So two questions came up. Derek, should I buy this place or rent it? And Derek, should, if I buy it, what's the route and should I do it? And again, I'm no real estate guru by any means. Trust me, there's 1,000 people that know 1,000 things more than me in real estate. But y'all know me, man. When I learn something and something works for me, we come back and teach it to you all. So that whole birth strategy, and I'm sure you guys have heard of that, and we're going to talk about that tonight. That's what's pretty cool even about this event in January, man. Don mixes what he does, guys, with the birth strategy to help you guys cash out refi sooner. So the birth strategy, in case if you are completely new to that, that's BRRRR, kind of like Uber, your code, but it stands for buy it, meaning buy a piece of real estate, preferably something that you can force value into. Then after you buy it, you got to renovate it, meaning that we got to fix it and force value into it. And right after we renovate it, now we need to put a renter in it. Somebody's got to rent it. Then after I rent it, now I go to the bank and say, hey, look, bank, look what I've done. And I refinance it, right? That means give me all my money back that I put into it to kind of make this deal happen. And if you do the birth strategy right, man, a lot of times you can get your rehab money back out of it. And you can also get your down payment money back out of it. So I really hope that I'm able to show you guys my slides tonight. I usually have it in a PowerPoint form, but for some reason that didn't work. But I'm going to try to share my screen. And if I'm able to share it, of course, y'all know I'm going to ask y'all if y'all are able to see it. But I'm going to show you guys a house that we literally bought. So I'm not going to just talk about the birth strategy and just talk about it. I'm going to show you real live pictures. So give me 2 or 3 people in the chat that you said that you would appreciate and would like to see that. Because if that's boring and you don't want to see it, then I can just switch to kind of what we always talk about, right? But I want to show the people that are thinking about, well, Derek, can I buy the property or can I only lease it or rent it? My suggestion is, again, and I'm no real estate guru, that if you do consider buying a property, I would consider using the birth strategy. And again, guys, there's many ways to buy property creatively, cash, and we don't recommend that. Don will pop your hand if you buy a house cash, right? So that birth strategy, man, to me is the cheat code, because again, guys, I'll admit we even use business credit to buy the first 2 houses I ever bought. Can you imagine that? So just between us, y'all, I'm gonna say this real quiet. Y'all, I ain't really have the money to do it. But guys, if you understand business credit and how to leverage that, that can be a game changer, right? So, again, man, welcome to you all that, again, people that may not know us. Again, guys, I'm just a country boy from Haines City, Florida. Again, that God has really blessed, man, to learn a lot of stuff, right? I'm good at a few things, but I specialize in about one or two that I'm real good at, right? I own 8 businesses, but I'll be honest, y'all, I'm only good at 2 of them. That's teaching, what y'all gonna hear tonight, and actually doing it. So I'm not one of those coaches that just kind of talk about it, right? We also do what we say. So I'm a coach and a consultant of this, but I also run and operate my own independent living facilities, and we're super proud of that. So again, our job is to take your idea from implementation, from the idea of it to implementation. And again, I've already explained what an ILF is. That's just that shared living environment for adults, not children, right? Not women and children, not families, but the single individual, male or female. And my family now, we just happen to trademark it, right? And it all started when I was that poor social worker. Many of y'all know that story. I'm not going to bore you with that tonight, but I always like to tell the new people of kind of where it came from, right? I'm not some kid that was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I was just like many of you all wanting to get into this, but didn't know how until God showed me my dream through somebody else. Right? Has that ever happened to you that y'all dreamed to do something or you wanted to get into something and God kind of showed you through somebody else? For some of y'all, that's me, right? Like I'm doing something y'all want to get into, right? No different from what I saw. And I saw a lady, y'all really just mistreating people like what you see right now on screen through rats and roaches and housing people in filth and in grime and in squalor. And I just said, Lord, have mercy. Why not me? Why not me get into it and change the way people are being viewed and change the way homeless people are living, change the conditions of it. And again, if you don't know my story, man, I watched a lady make 41 grand a month, y'all doing this. And if you look at these conditions, the beds are on the floor, cinder blocks are holding the beds up. The guy fan is sitting on a banana box. Guys, the devil is a liar. This is not how you treat people, especially if you're making $41,000 a month. Does that make sense, everybody? Because again, man, I'd imagine if you all made 41 grand a month, that would change your life. So why not change the lives of these people through it? And that's kind of what this is. And that's why we always lead out by saying, man, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is a great way to mesh it together. Okay. So I usually say that when people say, well, Derek, man, can you explain who you are and what you guys do in 3 minutes? That's literally it. Real estate, social services, the love of God, and we mesh it all together. And we've called these independent living facilities, but it's just simply the shared housing model, which means I'm going to take a house just like you see on screen. And the house that you guys see right now, quite frankly, this house was real ugly and nasty before it looks like this. That's a brand new roof, a brand new paint job, brand new garage door, brand new complete inside. And that's not even the one I'm showing you guys tonight. This one's actually in Orlando, Florida, right here, right? So for some of my ILF Mastery Blueprint members, when you guys are traveling and coming to the Pillars of Prosperity Conference January 31st, you guys have an opportunity to come and tour this place. Because you're an ILF Mastery Blueprint member, you guys are privy to tour this place, right? Remember, that's a part of your package. Some of you guys, this doesn't click until you're able to walk through it, smell it, see it, touch it. So please tell me if you're an ILF Mastery Blueprint member and you've never come to this facility, please let me know because I want to take you to it. Okay. And if you're in the Warner Robins, Georgia area, right, and you want to walk through that property that I'm going to show you tonight, you let me know because I'm going to be there probably in a couple of days or within a week. Okay. So, let's do this, right? I want to ask so far, right? Especially because I never want to just take for granted that everybody understands who I am and what this is. Are there any questions so far? Because if we're all just family here, I'm going to jump right into some more of the material and to that actual fix and flip that we did. And if it's not, I'm going to pause there for a second. Are there any questions? And I'm going to check the chat. And good to see you guys again. I'm not sure what's happening in South Carolina and North Carolina. Katara, I'm going to blame it on you for the South Carolinians. I'm getting a lot of new people from South Carolina, so I appreciate you guys, man. And don't forget, the first step to getting started, the Raymond family, you guys text that in. It's following that instruction that's texting below. So if you guys just text the phrase more info, simply MORE INFO to the phone number 407-326-0086. That'll give you our introductory webinar. And then as soon as you finish it, it's going to send you an automatic message to book a call with me and my team. So it's pretty cool. It's all automated. That way we don't miss it. And my team actually sees the analytics of it. So they know how much you watch, if you watched it at all. And guys, remember, that call to me is free, right? So as long as you watch that, it's absolutely free. Now, if you don't watch that, you say, well, Derek, I don't have time. I just want to talk to you. I'm $400 an hour. No problem. I do that all the time. Because I do get people say, well, Derek, I ain't got time for your webinar, bro. Can we just get on a call? No problem. There's a whole process for that too, though. But I'd rather you get on the phone for free just by what, because most of y'all are going to ask the same questions that's going to be in the first 6 minutes of the video, right? So that's why we design our webinars to really answer every question that you could ever have. And then that way, when we get on the phone, your questions now could be more valuable and we can go deeper. Okay. So I don't see anything in the chat in terms of questions. So I'm going to bring up that property right now, and y'all wish me luck because y'all know I ain't techie, right? And Shay's in a meeting, so, and y'all know I ain't good at bringing up stuff and sharing screens and all that. So y'all bear with me. I'm going to see if I can share this screen. Qatar and Tia, y'all be the first two to please tell me if you can see this when I so-called say I'm sharing my screen. So let me see, share screen. I hit that button, nothing happened yet. All right, so here we go. I think this is it. No, that ain't it. No, that ain't it. I thought I had it up, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Y'all bear with me because there it is. I got it right there. Let me slide that down. Y'all don't pick at me now because y'all know I ain't very techy. And I hope I can do this too because I want y'all to see it. There it is. Okay. I think I got it. Y'all let me know if y'all can see this, right? Because I'm not even sure where this places me on screen when it does go up. I hope it takes me off screen so that way you guys can simply just focus on that. Now let me come back over here so that I can see you all. Now somebody in the chat, let me know if y'all can see this, because if y'all can't see this, then this may not make sense. Let me see. Let me know if y'all can see that in the chat, Qatar or Tia or somebody, Wayne family. Y'all let me know if y'all can see that in the chat. I can see a slideshow. Okay, so let me go back. Let me see if I can make that bigger, because I should be able to make that bigger, right, y'all? Let me see. Is it big on the screen, though, or no? Let me know if it's filling up the screen big enough for you all to see it. Is it big enough for you all to see it, though? Like, can y'all really see that? Because it should be a way to bring that up to where it's able to show that whole, to remove the slides on the left. Click on slideshow and view showed. Right, Qatar. But that's what the part I don't see. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Y'all bear with me. I get it. Hold on. Let me see. I hear Shay coming down the hall, y'all. Shay, how can I put this on the presentation mode? Because you first have to go to the presentation itself. It's this one. Got help on the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey family, you are rocking with Forston Consultants in our club.
Y'all heard Miss Shay. Big shout out for Miss Shay coming to the rescue, ladies and gentlemen. So take that back up to the top, and then we'll get back to where we need to be.
Yeah, but
so hit that.
You're gonna lose your
Okay, now get us back to where we need to be. So it should be like that presentation mode.
You won't, because of the way you're doing a screen share. If you had a second screen, it would have been
the
easier.
Bar on the top.
Yeah.
Man, I don't want y'all to see it small. And for some reason, this one wouldn't upload as a PowerPoint. So that's why I couldn't show it as just a regular PowerPoint either.
Okay, I know what we do. Hold on, good people.
Maybe let's go to a commercial while Shay try to help us out.
Go ahead.
So let's take a quick commercial and let's see if Shay can help us out, you gentlemen. Let's take a quick word from David and Dennis here. So Dennis, in this independent living facility model, right, which y'all call ILFs, what kind of residents can I house in this kind of model? David, that's a great question. And that's actually what makes the ILF model so great is because it's flexible. So prime example, you can house military veterans, elderly adults, women that are escaping domestic violence, and the list goes on and on and on. So Dennis, where do you get your residents from? I see you guys on TikTok and Facebook, you guys getting all of these houses. Like, where in the world are you getting these people from? Yeah, that's actually pretty easy. Forster Consultants teaches us to use social media such as Instagram, Facebook to let people know who we are, what we do, but probably most importantly, who do we serve? And we do that very consistently. So every day, 7 days a week, there's something being posted about what we do and who we serve, but also building relationships with social workers and case managers. Again, letting them know who we are, what we do, and most importantly with them that we're available. Dennis, how in the world are you able to do this without a license, bro? David, remember the reason why we don't need a license, because remember the clients that we serve, they're independent. So that means that they can take their own medications, they can provide their own transportation, and they can cook and provide their own food. Dennis, man, you seem to know a lot about this independent living stuff, man. How do you know so much? Well, first of all, I graduated from Forster Consultants University, and I have a master's degree in independent living facilities. And I joined the Forster crew every Monday on YouTube at 6 p.m. Eastern. They go live, and that guy Derek, man, he give the game away. So I'm always there. So Dennis, what in the world are the requirements to get started with something like this? The only requirement for this, David, is a big heart for God, his people, and the love for real estate. That's it. And bro, don't think I ain't listening, because I am listening, but where can I find more information like this at, man? Because I really want to get started, man. David, if I were you, I'd follow Derek Forston on Facebook and TikTok, and then I'd follow Forston Consultants on everything else in terms of Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. Again, really slowly, David, because you're hard-headed. I'd follow Derek Forston at Facebook on his personal page. I'd follow him on TikTok, but I will also follow Forston Consultants on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget, David. Hey, Dennis, man, I really appreciate that, man. I'm going to do exactly what you told me to do. I'm going to follow Forster Consultants on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. No problem, David. That's actually what I'm here for. And by the way, where did you get that hoodie? I like that. Oh, this? I got this from Second Chance Apparel. I'll put the link below. This is for aspiring entrepreneurs. And the reason why I love to support it is that every shirt or hoodie that you purchase goes back into housing the homeless. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Shay's in the building, and she's gonna try to work on this for me because I don't want you guys to see it from that small like setting. And I think I'm still sharing my screen, so let me see. Let me make sure I'm not sharing nothing. All right, so I should be back on screen now. So anyway, I'm gonna let Shay deal with that. But if you just joined us, we're taking any questions that you guys may have about an independent living facility and how this does not require a license. You do not have to own the property, right? In fact, tonight I'm going to show one that we did buy, right? But 96% of you all that come to us, you guys are just like me when I started many years ago, right? I could not afford to go out and buy someplace, right? But through this shared living model is how we got into the game of buying. So that's what we teach and tell everybody. The goal is get into it however you can. Some of you all come to us blessed and already have the property. And I always tell you guys, man, you guys are 50% further than most people I'll ever teach this to, right? But if you're like me and most of y'all that get into this, you got to rent and lease a property and you may have to scrape that money up because Lord knows I did, right? So I'm not going to even front there. I had to borrow that money. But again, I saw the bigger vision to it, right? And just truth be told, not because I was just so great, God just blessed it. Right. And because we also had the desire to teach it to people, I really also think that was the cheat code for us. That God just truly saw our desire to not to be stingy with it because everybody else tried to hide this model from me. Right. So I'm sure you guys have been into something or wanted to do something and maybe even is this and just nobody would share it. So I just wanted to be absolutely different when we got into it. In fact, that was one of the promises that I made God, that God, if you let me get into it, man, I'll go all over the world teaching it and I'll never take any credit. So tonight also's title is depending on where you're tuning it from, Market Trends for 2025, how ILFs can lead the way. And what I'm going to lean on when I'm talking about the trend for right now is, again, that buying versus renting. I want to talk about renting before we get this buying model up. And because so many people fit in the zone of having to rent this place, I want to start there. So the reason why renting, in my opinion, is one of the best routes to go, because first of all, that's just kind of how most of us are geared up, right? But I'll skip right to the end of this and say, if you are financially able and stable, right, to buy a property, you can throw my next 6 minutes of what I'm getting ready to say out the trash, because I want you to buy a property. Because if you own it, we don't have to ask permission to do what we need to do in it. If you own it, again, I don't have to be tiptoeing about who I'm talking to and about it and worrying about my neighbors, all of that, and so much. If you own it, that's that pride of ownership. And now we're talking about equity, pride of ownership, something that you can hand down to your children's children, right? That's completely different. But again, because most of us are geared up to buy that place, please don't be offended. Please don't be hurt. Please don't be embarrassed if you have to go and buy it, because there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And again, one of the smallest to date ILFs that we have is a gentleman that we launched in Lake Wales, Florida, Lake Wales, Wales. Till you know where this is. Guys, he's got a 1-bed, 1-bath, and he's housing 2 military veterans that will be homeless on the street without him. Does that make sense? Somebody would have passed that place up and said, man, I can't do nothing with that place. But Lord of mercy, with my coaching going to tell you to start somewhere. Remember, you're not blessed like some of the people that we start this, like the Pierre family, and you get a 4-bed, 2-bath your first go round. You get a 3-bed, 2-bath your first house. Some of y'all that I'm teaching now, you guys get 5 and 6 bedroom houses. The first house. Guys, that's not everybody's story. Katara, that wasn't your story either. That wasn't my story. PR family, that wasn't your story. So everybody's a little bit different, but watch this. The reason why the rental side is so genius, because again, it's affordable. I can rent it or lease it. I don't need $25,000 down payment to buy it. I got a house for sale right now in Warner Robins, Georgia. If somebody want to buy that house as an investment, it costs 20% of the purchase price. Somebody put in the chat, what's 20% of $145,000? Let's just be active in the chat tonight. And if you're in a math genius or don't know how to work that calculator, just go to Chat GPT. Say, Chat GPT, what is 20% of 145 grand? I want to sell a house and I need 20% as a down payment. What is that on $145,000? Now, some of y'all can't imagine buying an investment property for that price. PR family, you guys can't imagine buying a house for that low cost. And guess what, y'all? I got a tenant already in it paying $1,450 a month. It's a no-brainer of a deal. I don't expect this house to be on the market probably 15 days in Jesus' name. Right? So does that make sense, though? Back to that whole rental side of it. Somebody put $58,000 in the chat. Okay, give me one more person to make sure that me and Katara ain't tripping and that our math is correct. What is 20%? Somebody else put it in there. Somebody double check Katara. I trust KJ, but somebody else put it in the chat. Tia, do you trust Katara? Do your own math. Think about that. I can go and rent a place right now, no matter where you live at. So just for kicks and giggles, Katara, you're in South Carolina. Katara, put what a normal 4-bed, 2-bath rents for in your city. Tia, put what a 4-bed, 2-bath will rent for in your city. If you don't know, we'll be active and go to Zillow. We'll just relax and be cool tonight. I ain't in no rush. Like them old Baptist preachers say, I won't be before y'all long tonight. But again, the rental property, I can get in it quicker, faster, and don't even talk about the scalability. Guys, I can rent a house every month, every other month. Guys, at my highest height, I had 13 ILFs at one time. The coaching got so big, I had to scale these houses down. Now we're scaling them back up again. But guys, at 13 houses, Katara, house 6, 7, and 8 came so fast it would have scared you, Katara. 6, 7, and 8 came in less than 28 days of each other. And Katara, you're almost moving in that speed now because you're getting the house faster and faster now, sis. But can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, getting a house every 28 days? That was your brother. At one point, I had 13 houses of my own. Now, I oversee almost 400 of them now in 37 states. But watch this. Guys, house ILF number 6, 7, and 8, guys, they all came within 28 days of each other. Guys, you can't buy a house that fast unless you just rolling in the dough. Does that make sense? So again, that's why when people ask me, well, Derek, man, should I buy or rent? Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'll say this probably 3 more times before I end it. If you can buy it, let's not even talk about renting a place. Because in my opinion, you can't go wrong buying real estate either way it go. Because let's just say you buy it, you get into this 6 months and say, Derek, you know what, man, I turned the wrong page in that book. Derek, this ain't really what I want to do, but I done bought this property, Derek. What do I do now? Well, lucky for you, I know several strategies in real estate. That can become a rental property. It can come Airbnb. It can come short-term rental. It can come those insurance rentals that I'm hearing about now. And guess what? My sister owns an insurance company. Guess who's going to be talking to her soon about that now? All of these displaced people in all these areas with all of these disasters. Guys, insurance company will pay you 3 times the regular rental rate in your city. Are you serious right now? Bam, Shay got that PowerPoint up. Thank you so much, Sugar. Take that down, Shay, because I don't need it this second, but thank you. Does that make sense, everybody? There's a discrepancy. Tia put $29,000 as a down payment. Katara told me 58. That 58 did sound big, though. I was like, wait a minute. And that's why I was saying 20% down payment if that house is 145 grand. What is that number? Give me a third person. I like it when we actually get different numbers because that means that we're at least working together and we're going to find out. Because it still proves my point that most of us don't have 29,000 or 58 grand to go and grab right now. Right? Qatar said, I must have did something wrong. Hey, sis, I'm such not like, how can I say it, sis? I'm so not great at math that sometimes I don't even trust the way that I put it in the calculator. So I'll put it in Chat GPT. I say, Chat GPT, I'm getting ready to put 20% down on this house that's $154,000. What is that number? Because the AI tool ain't gonna hardly ever be wrong. 99.9% of the time, they gonna nail it. So 2 people done put 29,000. There we go. So right now, that house that I'm getting ready to show y'all, somebody need 29,000 before we can even talk about them getting it. Their job in their mind to just say, man, is that a good investment long term for me? Because he got a renter in that place. What if I don't want that renter in and I want to do shared housing, y'all? Well, lucky for y'all, we already done work that out with the people that are there that are living like kind of however it's going to go, everything going to be fine. Now, she want to stay. And I'll admit, I'd rather sell it to somebody that want to keep it and keep my tenant in it. I'll just be honest. That's where my heart is. Even though I'm for shared housing, y'all, she a good tenant. And I'll admit, also, when you in real estate, this is the kind of tenant you dream of, right? It's just that for us, this is a power play, and we're moving on from this property. And y'all going to see why in terms of what we bought it for and what we selling it for. Make sense, everybody? So if you just joined us, we specialize in shared housing. But tonight, I'm going to show you guys a house in which we actually bought, fixed, and flipped it and put a renter in it and did something called the BRRRR strategy. So most of my real estate professionals, agents, y'all know about that. The BRRRR strategy means BRRRR, meaning BRRRR. meaning buy it, rent it. No, I'm sorry. Buy it, renovate it. Then we're going to rent it, right? Then we're going to refinance it, and then we're going to repeat the whole process. And I'm going to go through a whole PowerPoint to break it all down, you guys. But remember, this is just one strategy of 1,000 that is in real estate. We specialize in shared housing, but we got a lot of questions this week of, Derek, should I buy the property or should I rent it? So right now, we're just simply discussing, should you buy your first ILF or rent it? 95% of y'all are just like me, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can just go out and rent it or lease it. Now you're feeling your way through it to make sure that you like it, Mr. Garrett. What if you get this and say, man, Derek, I've been in this 9 months, and man, I should be baking chocolate chip cookies. Derek, I should have started a bakery. Like, I shouldn't have got into real estate. What am I doing, Derek? So that's another reason why it's another plus on the plus side of renting. Because what if you get in this and this ain't really what you want to do? Now, the cool part is that most of y'all that find us and come to us, this is what you've always dreamed of. You wanted to help people. You want to be involved in real estate. You want to be the go-to in your city when it comes to affordable housing, but you also want to make enough money to feed your family. That's why most of y'all are here, and that's why we also love that. Really quickly, I'm going to show you guys just a couple houses, right? And y'all can just guess which one I'm going to show you today out of these. But when people tell me, Derek, what kind of house can I do this in? It can be in a very large house like that, 6 bed, 3 bath. It can be in a 2-1 like this, Warner Robins, Georgia. This can be in Kissimmee, Florida. This can be a 7 bed, 4 bath, a big one, a bougie one with the nice St. Augustine grass. See how they all are a little different depending on where you live at and depending on how you're trying to get into it. This is another house in a part of Georgia, brick house, right? 3 bed, 2 bath. Now, I'll admit, this is my favorite model. Forget the house, but the bedroom count, 4 bed, 2 bath, that's my favorite. And I got big ones, I got little ones, but I'll admit my favorite model is that 4 bed, 2 bath, because either for me, I'm doing 4 people at 4 private rooms, or I'm doing 8 people, 2 per room, or one of my favorite lately, I'm doing 2 private rooms and 2 shared rooms. Put in the chat if you like that idea. So that's kind of, Mr. Terry, been kind of becoming one of my favorite now. Because usually a 4-2 for me mean 8 people. But now if the numbers right, if the calculations add up and I'm not messing up in my calculator, guys, I don't really want 8 people in a 4-2 now. I've been in this long enough now that I don't need to max out my houses. Katara, you've been in this long enough now to where you noticing now comfortability. What's comfortable now, Katara? What is the least amount of headaches? See, Katara, you're been in that corner now where a lot of us are already at, where you know also, Katara, all money ain't good money. Somebody type that in the chat. And Katara, you know what I mean by saying that by now. Katara, you'd have had no clue what that meant in this 8 months ago. You live in it now. You just posted another house that you opening because you move at the speed of instruction. You follow great coaching and you're always here. No excuses. You watch the replays when you miss it. I'm just showing y'all now people that are great at this. Back to the topic. Guys, watch this. I can rent all of these places and not need a quarter from my pocket to have to go and buy it. Ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine that? And now the newest model is this mobile home thing. And I jokingly tell you guys all the time, forget about the trash outside. That was trash day. And forget about that for sale sign. Somebody bought this and this is what they do now. So the mobile home play now is another opportunity for us to get into this in another affordable way. This is the house that I showed you earlier that Shay bought and rehabbed. It is no longer green and that roof is no longer caving in. Because what y'all can't see in the back now is how the roof was caving in and how the front and the top also got worse after these pictures. That house is brand new from the top to the bottom now. But this is what it looks like. Never mind all of that. I'm going to do what I promised you all now. So let's do this. I'm going to go to a quick commercial break. Then I'm going to come back and show you guys a real live birth strategy on a house that we bought, real live pictures of the rehab. And that house right now, as of I think yesterday, 12 hours ago or something like that, is posted for sale, right? We'll be right back. I'm going to take a quick break and we'll be right back to answer any questions that you all have and want to go through a real live birth strategy. If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And I am getting ready to show you guys a live example. Because y'all guys know me, man. I like to share kind of what we do. I don't like to hide things from people. So I'm going to remove this. And also, again, thank you guys for the questions that came in this week. Because, again, I build my content, guys, according to what you all ask. So I'll say it's probably about 60-40, 70-30. Most of the time, meaning 60-40, 60% of the time, you guys bring the questions that y'all want me to talk about. And that either is coming through a strategy call or discovery call that I took during the week, or conversation that I've had, or questions that you guys have typed in. So a lot of you guys are typing in questions using that same phone number. So we appreciate that. So I'm going to take this down and I'm going to bring this up right here. And big shout out to Shay, man, that came in and rescued me and actually turned this into a PowerPoint now. So I'm gonna skip all of this stuff. Y'all know who I am. Why in the world am I qualified to talk about the burst strategy? Y'all know me. I'm the owner and operator of Second Chance Housing, the thought leader of Forston Consultants. I'm a buy and hold investor, blah, 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 blah. And I completed a burst strategy and I'm excited to show it to you all. So to jump right into it, the burst strategy again, guys, and anybody that's new to this, you can take a picture of this stuff. I talk fast. Sometimes I stutter, but I want to make sure that I kind of try to slow this down. And to me, this is one of the best ways to buy real estate if you have the opportunity to, right? So, and this is called the burst strategy. So the first step is to buy it. And my example of buy it is buy a piece of junk. And I really mean that kind of jokingly, but I'm seriously. You guys need to buy something that's not already fixed up. Meaning this house that I'm trying to sell right now, that's not really what the burst strategy is. This house that I'm selling now is for an investor that says, Derek, you've done the hard work already, bro. You got a tenant in it that's paying rent. I want that place. Because, Derek, when I buy it, I pick up rent the next month. Give me two of y'all that say, yeah, Derek, that makes sense. Because I want to pause there for 2 seconds. This house that I'm selling right now in Warner Robins, Georgia, that I'm going to show y'all, that's not the house you want to do the burst strategy with. Pre-rehab is what you want to do. And if you're a realtor, if you're in real estate, if I say anything out of line, you be sure to jump in and correct me. Because I love to tell people that I'm not the guru. I just have done things. I learned through the mistakes and I come back and teach it to people the right way. And lucky for me, this deal didn't go bad. This was a great deal, actually. So there was no mistakes in this, right? But there's some things that I would have changed, and we're going to talk about that. But watch this. Buy it, meaning buy something that you can force equity into. That means a house that needs some work done to it. Then we got to renovate it. Then we got to rent it to somebody to collect rent on this investment so that we can run to the bank and say, hey, bank, look what I've done. I want to refinance, meaning the purchase price that I bought it and what it's worth now because I fixed it. Can you give me the difference in between those two numbers? And for easy math, if I bought the house for 50 grand, and I put 25 grand in it, and now the house is worth 100 grand, can I get the difference between those two numbers? And that's called a cash out refinance. And then most investors repeat this whole process because now you got your cash back out the deal and you go and buy another property, renovate it again, rent it again, refinance it again, repeat it again, buy it again, rent it again. So see why they call it the burst strategy and why the last R means to repeat this whole process, right? So now if that doesn't make sense to anybody, we can pause right there and I can talk about that a little bit more. If not, I'm going to move right into the deal. So let me give that about a 5-second pause because I know depending on where you're logging in from, you may be a little behind us in time. So I'm going to give that a little minute, but give me 2 people to say, yeah, Derek, that kind of makes sense. I get it, even though you haven't got all the way in it. I hear you, bro, and I'm with you. I'm not confused yet, okay? So here is a great example of a house that we bought, and I'm going to show you live pictures of it. Purchase price was $74,000, okay? Meaning, one more time, buy a property that you can add value to. Buy something that's ugly and needs work. Buy a piece of junk in a great neighborhood. Thank you, Qatar, for saying that makes sense. So maybe it's just me and Kay here tonight. So Kay, I'm going to also, when I do this, Kay, I don't really want to go to the hood and buy the piece of junk. Maybe can we go to the middle or maybe just a little bit above the grimiest part of the hood? Because also I truly believe in no matter where you kind of buy real estate, it eventually going to appreciate, guys. That's just kind of how real estate works. And this property, I'll admit, y'all, this is a great example of it because it's not in some top echelon place. But again, we bought it for $74,000. Here was the closing, as I said, because if I just put words, it's going to be boring. Here's me and Shay at that closing table. And I posted right before we joined this room tonight. This feeling never gets old. When you go to the closing table, whether you're wholesaling, buying, selling, or you're consulting on a deal, and you just got a client that you're at the table with, that actually never gets old. When you get the keys to that place, ladies and gentlemen, never gets old. So now notice I kind of skipped some of the stuff in between. Obviously, yeah, we found the property, and I'll admit, we found this property on market. So now I don't suggest that, but I will say that there's a lot of great deals that are still on market, especially deals that have been listed more than 60, 90, and 120 days. This is how you get great deals. And I'll admit, just to be frank with you all, we bought this house from a guy that bought it for $10,000, right? So right there also tells me he's not super like crazy vested in this place. He only paid 10 grand for it. Can you guys see the mindset that I'm already thinking during negotiations, Hervins? Because another thing that I teach people that I do kind of consult in real estate is that you got to do your homework. How did I know that? Now, today, as simple as me giving y'all the address, you can go to Zillow right now and pull up this address and see when you scroll down, you can see that at one point, at 1 year, this guy sold his property for 10 grand. And on 4/20/22, we bought the property for that $74,000 I just showed you. That guy made a nice profit. But that's how real estate works. And so am I on the back end of this. Watch this. So that's me, a simple, again, just getting those keys. Again, this feeling never gets old. And this is the property. This is Warner Robins, Georgia, right? Which has kind of become one of my favorite places to invest. I don't buy nothing in Atlanta. Nothing against Atlanta, but this is a suburb of Atlanta. And in my little small don't matter opinion is that this is going to be the mini Atlanta in the next probably 5 years. Because, not being funny, but Atlanta is going to be so outpriced for the regular Joe. Warner Robins is going to be the next best thing. It's just an all-around great city. It's got a military base. It's known for its wholesomeness, right? And again, people love Georgia because of the real estate, the cost, the taxes. And again, it's landlord friendly. Guys, why didn't I buy a property in New York or New Jersey? Not real estate friendly. California, not real estate friendly, right? So we love real estate friendly places. Watch this. But oh my God, here go the renovations, right? And look at all the things that we found during the process of buying this place. Because when you first walk into these places, guys, they look pretty decent. And I encourage everybody to make sure that you get a inspection. So if you can't notice, that's a straight hole in the floor, in the subfloor, in the bathroom. We wouldn't have knew this by the naked eye, but during the inspection, now we find out contractor takes care of that with brand new wood now. Everything else checked out to be fine except that little spot. So as I'm going to be scrolling through these pictures, I'll just kind of keep talking. But one of the things that you want to make sure that you guys do is get an inspection. so that you know what you're buying. Because, guys, I'm not a contractor. I'm not a fix and flipper. I can't fix a thing, y'all. I can just barely paint a wall and not that great, but I'm not a fix and flipper. And another thing I just want to bag on just real quick. Look at those ugly countertops. Looks like somebody took tile that would go on the floor and they put it on the countertops. Can y'all see these pictures? Like, are these big enough now, Tia, Katara, Hervins, Pierre family? Are these pictures big enough now for you all to see that? But this is all going into the rehab, though. Remember the birth strategy, buy it, renovate it. So now we've hired that crew. And because I live in Florida, how in the world I know a crew that live in Warner Robins? Relationship. We talk to you guys all the time about relationship. Katara, I don't live in Warner Robins, but I got a realtor there. I got a construction crew there now. And a lot of that was put together by other great people. Big shout out to my guy, Trey Mathis, who I share a room with every Sunday morning. And that's called the Real Estate Wealth Chat Room on Clubhouse. Clubhouse taught me a lot of my real estate stuff back in the day. And I say it that way because Clubhouse is 4 years ago in the beginnings of it. Right? So look at these cabinets. Oh, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm also somebody that likes to save stuff if we can. Now, obviously, those countertops could not be saved. That looked terrible. But Qatar, you better believe I saved those cabinets, though. We can sand and repaint and also put brand new knobs on those cabinets. So somebody type amen or yep, I agree if you on that. Now, if you on the bougier side, you say, no, Derek, I'd have ripped out every cabinet in that place. And Derek, I'd have put brand new cabinets and brand new tops. No problem. Let me know in the chat. Because you're kind of not right or wrong. I just want to go back and forth with you all. Because watch this. Also, during my research, told me that I shouldn't put granite countertops in this kind of neighborhood. But I'm going to get to it. But Katara, guess what we had to end up putting? Because if you remember the year that I just told you, we were still kind of during COVID, y'all. Everything was on back order and delay. So the cheap, what's that cheap stuff that you put on them countertops, y'all, Terry? Tia, what's that cheap stuff? Not that nice stuff you got on your countertops in your house, Tia. Linoleum or linoleum or what you call that plastic stuff? Somebody put that in the chat. But Tia, that was on an 8-week order. The birth strategy tells me I got to do this fast, Tia, because I got to rent it. Tia, I got to renovate it and rent it to somebody to start recouping this money, Tia. See, Tia said I would have put new top and bottom. So right there again, Tia's not wrong about that. It's just personal preference. Qatar said laminate. Now, laminate is flooring, as far as I know now. Ain't no contractor now, Qatar. But that cheap stuff they put on the countertops. Because I know they got the LVP. That's like similar to laminate, but it's like not waterproof. But that's Tia gonna know. Tia, what's that stuff that you put on the countertops that's you just do it for a normal Section 8 place? And if it's laminate, I might be wrong. I don't know. Tia said that she would have done granite. But watch this, Tia. Now, unless Tia would have said, Derek, I don't care what you say, Derek. That's my taste, and that's what we doing. Now, my coaching would have told Tia, now listen, in this neighborhood, for what they sell for and what the neighborhood expects, you will be doing something that we would call over-rehabbing in this neighborhood with granite. Now, my house in Orlando that I'll admit that we did not do granite, that one probably could have called for granite, and the comps and the money that it would have been worth afterward would have showed and reflected. I'm getting way ahead of myself, but let me give you some game right now. We put granite in here, and it is beautiful. But guess what, y'all? And really, in this neighborhood, I didn't get all the credit that I would have in a better neighborhood. Does that make sense? For Micah, that's it. Tia know about that stuff, man. Tia build houses and all that stuff, Katara. That's it. That's that stuff. Cheap, but it's pretty. And now today, and Tia can tell you if I'm lying, for Micah today don't look like for Micah 15 years ago, 20 years ago. They got the one that got that marble print to it. They got the one that looked like granite. Come on, Tia, I ain't lying. Tia just more bougier, y'all, than most of us. And trust me, y'all, I just tease Tia like that. Tia's very high class, not being funny, but Tia's well-to-do, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just put it that way, right? I love Tia like a fat kid love cake. Tia's family to me. So just in case if you knew and you think I'm picking on Tia, Tia my family, y'all, right? And we do that. You hear me pick a lot on Tia, Katara, but Tia is absolutely somebody that would have plushed this place out. Tia may also be somebody that would have not have bought this property because of the neighborhood it's in. Guys, there's all kind of different investors. Some people only buy middle class. Some people only buy in Section 8 ghetto hood. And some people only buy high dollar prices. I'm that guy kind of in the middle and down. I'm not the luxury guy. But watch me keep going because I'm getting way ahead of myself. I'm talking about the birth strategy, ladies and gentlemen. We bought it. Now we're in the renovation phase. Just a small slide to show you that none of this stuff is free to me. That dumpster till I got charged by the day. That trailer to sis Katara, that cost me by the day in terms of what they're doing now. Now here's a great point that I want to make here. Some of the houses that I walk in, ladies and gentlemen, as thinking that I'm going to buy it to fix it and rent it out or turn it into an ILF, you walk in this room right here, y'all, you see nothing wrong with it. Now, in my mind, I said, oh, you know what? Wow, I'm going to keep the flooring. I'm going to just put a little light gray on the, and that's that other word, Terry, linoleum. That's that other one. That's what Katara was probably trying to say. Uh-huh. But how many of y'all would look at this room right here and say, oh my God, I would keep everything. Girl, I might paint the walls and that's it. Because most of us love that little light gray. We love that off-white, that eggshell white teal. Most of y'all would look at this and be like, man, because that's what I said. And y'all know me, I'm trying to save money. I'm trying to maximize my cash out refi that I've already told y'all that's coming. That's one of the R's, remember, in the birth strategy. But ladies and gentlemen, guess what? The subflooring under this house was bad, y'all. So even though this flooring looks great and most of y'all will look at this and say, Derek, I ain't doing nothing to this place, dog, but painting it and putting it back up for rent. Y'all, that's what I wanted to do. Till I wanted to paint this thing light gray and keep it moving so bad. But you're going to find out I didn't even choose the light gray. Like I chose this whole nother color that I fell in love with. And I'm banging myself in the head, Tia, because I've typed it in my notes in my phone. But I think when I got my new phone, some of my notes didn't transfer. So I just call it oatmeal, right? And I'll get there. But you probably can't tell from this screenshot, but this wall color is like an ugly pale Easter egg yellow. Pretty during the month of April, but not kind of what you want a new aged house to be when you're rehabbing it. Till it broke my heart to have to peel these floors up. Until that wasn't the worst of it. Mr. Terry, it get worse than that now. Now, I'll admit, some of this stuff I knew, Till, because of the inspection. This wasn't no surprise to me. But some stuff got worse when you opened the wall and you got to other stuff. So here go my crew tearing the floors up because Derek talking about he gonna keep the floor because nothing wrong with it. Y'all should have saw them subfloors and everything that we had to tear up. Some dummy built this house years ago, y'all, and thought it was a good idea to block off this room right here. This was a wall. Guys, this made the layout of the house so stupid that when you walked in the door, you didn't know which way to go. You was like, wait a minute. I just walked in this room. How did I get here? And why is there another door on the left right here? In Warner Robins, Georgia, guys, it only cost me $1,200 to remove that wall and create that beam, y'all. In Orlando, it would have cost me 8 times that price. Guys, that was a $1,200 fix. That what now everybody calls today, y'all, an open concept. Till we got that thing wide open now, y'all. Remember, we're talking about the birth strategy. We got to buy it, and then we got to renovate it. I'm still renovating, and I ain't even got to the pretty stuff yet. This is all ugly stuff, y'all. The kitchen had a dadgum ring around it, y'all. Like somebody built this wooden. The kitchen wasn't encased in wood. That's the only way I could explain it, y'all. And I wish I could have put pictures of that, but it was so many pictures. I don't want to bore y'all, but the kitchen had to be totally kind of redone. And this is why Tia telling most of y'all she would have gutted the whole kitchen. Tia, by this point, I was so disgusted by some of the stuff that we didn't kind of expect. I say, hey, boss man, you think we can save these cabinets? He went to knocking and shaking and touching stuff. He said, hey, Derek, these countertops got to go. We can probably save the cabinets though. And we can probably redo, repaint, or replace the handles. I say, okay, let's talk about it. Keep going. Another thing that we ran into was termite problems. Remember, I'm in the renovate phase, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't expect the termite problem to have ate out all of the edges of the windows, ladies and gentlemen. So now you're talking about we got to replace sheetrock. We got to replace wood. We got to replace the, what's that cushy stuff in the wall, y'all? To keep the place cold or hot? Insulation. Huh? All the trash that had to come out of this place and that dumpster that's costing me probably $300 a day. So here comes the brand new sheetrock. Here comes the brand new flooring. A lot of the subflooring, y'all, had to be redone by the sheet. Not like little spaces, like even that one he's standing on. Now, it's hard to tell in these pictures, but that's a whole brand new piece of sheetrock. That's a brand new window that you looking at because the window was just so bad, right? The wood had to redo the wood around certain windows, y'all. None of this was expected. Remember, we're talking about the birth strategy, but I will say, y'all, we bought this house at such a deal at 74 grand. Even then, I'll admit, y'all, this like wasn't a deal breaker. So it's like, okay, let's go. But if you've been through a rehab, you know what I mean by you tired of running into things back to back to back. And one of the things that we didn't know, like these walls right here, y'all, the Raymond family, we knew that it was around like the windows, but once my guy got into the walls, y'all, it spread it even further than what we knew. So a lot of the wood, even behind the wall and the studs had to be redone. And I'll admit, y'all, this is where I learned a lot about rehab myself. And remember, I don't live in Warner Robins, Georgia. This is called out-of-state investing. Even though I didn't mention a lot about that and what goes into it, simply a team, God first, but a team. Without Raphael, my realtor, without Rudy's, the contractor and his crew, this is impossible, ladies and gentlemen. I live 7 hours from this place, taking my time. I can get there in 6 hours if I'm in a rush. And without Miss Karen, who puts all of this together, who's my property manager, my eyes and my ears, my rent collector, my rule enforcer, the lady that's changing the AC vent every 30 days because if they don't, she gonna fine them and we gonna share the cost of it. The lady that collects the late fee, that when the tenant is late, and we also split that. So again, this is what makes out-of-state investing possible is when you got a team. Again, not because I'm so great. Forget about Derek. Raphael is the realtor. Does all the transaction and administrative stuff. Rudy's his crew fix anything I find. That's why, to me, I'm not afraid of a fix and flip product. Put in the chat if you're afraid of a fix and flip thing to get into. Are you afraid to get into some of this stuff that you just saw? If this scares the heck out of you, say, no, Derek, I want to buy the place that you talking about you fixed and you got a renter already in it collecting rent, Derek. That's the side I'm on. Because, guys, I'll admit, the first property I bought, that's what it was. I bought a property with a renter already in it. This was the second property I ever bought. Vacant. So, again, if a fix and flip scares you, let me know in the chat. Because if I can ease that fear, I'd love to. Not debate it, but if you're afraid of termites in the wall, if you're afraid of replacing sheetrock, if you're afraid of tearing out a complete kitchen, everything except the cabinets, Oh, and by the way, my guy also did some reinforcements on the existing cabinets too. I was super proud of that. Great contractor, by the way. Most guys would say, okay, Derek, you want to save the cabinets? We can save them. They'll just throw the top on it, and that's it. My guy reinforced what was already there because we got that heavy dadgum granite that I really didn't want, I'll admit. Ended up being a blessing in the long run because of the cost of it and the look of it. But I'm always honest with people to tell them that I over-renovated, not because I wanted to, because things were on hold. Most people will hide that. Well, yeah, I put granite in it. Well, y'all, I'll admit, that wasn't my idea. Because again, Raphael and Miss Karen told me, Derek, don't over-renovate in this area. Because the people can't afford it, and the comps won't appreciate what you've done. Does that make sense, everybody? Or am I talking over anybody's head when I'm talking about over-renovating in a specific area according to what the people that are smarter than you told you? Not because you wanted to do it now. Does that make sense, everybody? Or am I losing anybody on that? But if you're like me and Tia and you don't mind a renovation project, also let me know that in the chat. So I'm going to do like Tia and put me. I'm going to put me, comma, not afraid. And I'll admit, watch this, because what makes me not afraid is different from what makes Tia not afraid. Watch this, KJ. KJ, the reason maybe somebody else may be afraid of this because they don't fix and flip and are handy the way Tia and her team and her husband is. Tia's got a team. She's got the tools. She's got the equipment. She's got the know-how. She's got the experience. Watch this. I don't. So I lean on a Rudis. Now, my country accent, his name is Rudis, but his actual name is Rudis, and I'm trying to respect his name and say it the right way. So Rudis is who I lean on as a contractor or a Mr. Fix-It or a handyman guy, that no matter what I buy, no matter what I live, in a 30-mile radius of Warner Robins, Georgia, I can buy it and say, Raphael, I want to put an offer in on it. Let's buy it, get with Rudis, and let's go. Now, the first time I had to go every time. I had to drive there, had to be there. But with this project right here that you guys are viewing right now, guys, I didn't go there that much. I already trusted Rudis. He sent pictures every day. Ding, 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 ding. That's a gem. Never be an out-of-state investor and they don't send you this stuff every day. How you think I got these pictures? I didn't take most of this stuff. Rudis sent me these pictures. So really slowly and one more time, make sure that your contractor or your Mr. Fix-It is sending you pictures every day of the progress every day. Not old pictures either, and a FaceTime. You can't lie on the FaceTime. They can pose some of them pictures. You can't lie to me on that FaceTime. And what I like about people that have a crew, because I personally don't want you if you by yourself. That's just my personal preference when I'm choosing a crew. Because if you don't show up because you're so busy all around the city, but what if, because my main guy don't show up every day to this job. Rudis don't show up every day, especially from when I first met Rudis. He got a big old truck and a big old crew now. He dress up real nice and neat every day now. He don't wear the construction clothing anymore. Rudis rides around in a half button-up shirt, some jeans and some cowboy boots. My buddy, my brother now. But when we first started, Rudis was the guy. He was with this crew every day. Now he's got this big old fancy truck. His workers drive all the big ugly trucks now. And Rudis just only come to the job, quote it, and tell you, Derek, I'll send you pictures every day, bro. He ride around and take pictures now. But that's the goal. He's got a crew that's doing this stuff so that he can keep doing jobs. So for me, the out-of-town investor guys, just make sure that you have a crew, and preferably before you get started. Because if you can find the property manager and the real estate agent, because most of the time they're going to be connected. How did I find Miss Karen? I don't know Miss Karen like that. Well, I do now. But how do I build that? I built it through Raphael, my realtor, that God also dropped in my lap many years ago as he was a kid. He's not this big, tall, grown, handsome young man now. But Raphael, I met him as a little boy many years ago, as a kid. He's now a grown adult selling real estate. He's my agent in Warner Robins. So again, this all happens by relationship, guys. Contractor, real estate agent, they're going to connect you to all of these people. The agent, Hervis, you're in here. The Pierre family, you guys are full of family, are full of realtors. Am I saying anything wrong yet about how the realtor can lead you to the contractor and the property management company if they don't already do it? Because if I'm coaching you and you're a realtor, how can we also get you into property management? Because to be honest with you, all property management is relationship with handymen and other companies that are at your every beck and call to go fix stuff. That's really all property management is, and great people. And I'll admit, that's tough, though, to find great people. So that's the advantage of somebody buying this property that you guys are looking at right now. For me, the team is already in place. Property management is in place if you want it, and there's a renter already in it. I make this a no-brainer. Make sense? So watch this. As we move along, who would lend on such an ugly property? Lucky for y'all, we will. You say you, Derek? Absolutely. So just in case if you didn't know one of the many things that we do, I'm also a loan broker. So we do something that's called asset-based lending. I'm going to type that into the chat. When you talk about asset-based lending, that means that I don't care about your W-2. I don't care about if you have a job or not. I don't care about if you've been on your job 6 months, 6 years, or you started 6 days ago and you called in last Friday. Asset-based lending cares more about the property versus you actually caring about your makeup, about you having a job and your tax returns. So one more time, if you've ever heard of the phrase, or you ever heard of a way to buy real estate to where I don't care about your job or your W-2, that's what asset-based lending is, and that's what we do. Now, I have instruction that's on this slide already that's not active, but will be. By Friday, if you have a property that's already under contract, or if you're thinking about a property that you're trying to get under contract and you want to run the numbers of what that would cost you, and again, the simple is way that I can tell you to buy property through us, right, is that you have the 20% down to buy it. Because again, even your credit score really doesn't matter. We got lenders, guys, that'll go as low as of a 500 credit score, a 450 credit score. So again, we can loan you guys anywhere from $100,000 to $100 million when it comes to real estate. And somebody gonna think, wow, Derek, you got that much money? Absolutely not. I wish I did. I'm just backed by a whole lot of people that do, right? So if you know anything about a loan broker, guys, that means that I'm backed by a bunch of big hedge funds and big hedge banks and all of that stuff that'll lend on your real estate, but it's through my company. So again, by Friday of next week, and even if you did it now, I'll still get it, but by Friday of next week, I'm gonna have it automated to where it's gonna send you a form. So if you find a property that you wanna buy, a piece of junk, so that you can fix and flip it, we lend on that. So we lend on rental properties, fix and flip properties. We also do bridge loans and all of that good stuff. And one more time, we do something that's called asset-based lending. I don't care about your credit. I don't care about your W-2, and don't bring me your tax return. Now, if you go to Bank of America, Wells Fargo, they want to see all of that. Asset-based lending does not, guys. We care more about that property, because if you mess up, we take the property back. Make sense? So we got people that'll lend on, again, if you need $100,000 to $100 million, that can be residential. It can also be commercial. So if you want to go buy a school, a library, or a commercial building with 32 units in it, no problem, right? Let's get back to the show. Again, remember I told you that somebody thought it was a great idea to put a wall? Guys, we took this down. Now, Tia, if I use the wrong terms, you help me. I think this is called a beam. They built the beam to open this concept up, because if not, when you walked in the door, this was so confusing. Now you walk in the door, guys, and it's a wide open concept. And if I'm saying the wrong words, Tia gonna tell me. But I think this is called that when you do a beam, so that when you open up, Because if you have a load-bearing wall, Teal gonna correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, you really can't do this unless you put that beam there. This had to have a permit pulled and all of that, y'all. This was not something that we just could do. But watch this, guys. This only cost me $1,200 to open this up to give a wide open concept and a better floor plan. Because how dare I try to sell this? That's why I also got a discount in buying this property, because the layout was so dadgum stupid. So when I get ready to sell it, which is now, somebody gonna say, wow, look at this place. It's so wide and open. Ooh. It's just like the newer homes, y'all. Because if you know anything about these older homes, ladies and gentlemen, they were kind of cookie cutter and had all the corners and turns and cuts. But this is us allowing more room. So the next picture you see is probably those 2x4s or whatever those pieces of wood are, Tia. They're going to be gone. That doesn't stay. See how they've now get ready to mud it up and put the sheetrock there? So before, wood, after. The wood's gone and now it's sheetrock. Now, also, I'm going to put a video up, and I should have added to this so that you guys can get a whole walkthrough of this whole place. But if you just joined us, we're simply talking about the BRRRR strategy. How do you buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat the whole process when it comes to real estate, whether you want to turn this into an ILF, a rental, short-term rental, an insurance housing play, house the elderly, military veterans, you choose, or Section 8, which we also do. But are you guys seeing how this place is slowly but surely coming together? But here we go again, Teal. More problems. Now, what you can't tell from this picture, you probably can. That wood at the bottom was completely had to be replaced. Notice that wood at the bottom is a completely different color. Termites completely ate it up. I think I got a picture where all of it was redone. That window also got put in brand new. Completely just messed stuff up. Here's another one. Brand new window. Brand new, what you call that stuff, Tia? Insulation. Guys, I didn't want to buy a brand new window. But again, lucky for me, and this is why I like Warner Robins, Georgia, everything's cheaper. That's why I like Dayton, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, Canton, Ohio, Toledo, Ohio. That's why I like Columbus, Georgia, Warner Robins, Georgia, Macon, Georgia. Come on, y'all. Affordable places to buy, affordable places to rehab with great rental rates. And as you can tell by now, y'all, termites are getting on my last nerve. But these are all the things that you got to do and replace. Because termites, I didn't know termites eat that stuff too, y'all. Not just wood. They'll eat insulation. The insulation was completely gone, y'all. Damaged. Which also brought in moisture. Come on, my rehabbers. And again, I'm no rehabber. I'm no Mr. Fix-It. But because of my team and because of that inspection, look at all of these places, Till, that we thought it was just in the window. But my guy said, Derek, you won't believe this, but this is why I text you and I send you pictures and I call you every day. Derek, look now. Tia, he had to keep cutting. I'm like, man, sheetrock ain't cheap, ladies and gentlemen. So again, guys, the BRRRR strategy is BRRRRR. Katara, I'm only on the second R. But we're making progress. Brand new sheetrock. Now we're starting to put them edges on now, y'all. We're putting that primer on the wall. There go that ugly kitchen again. Somebody gonna say, Derek, man, how you gonna save that kitchen, bro? Don't worry, y'all. We also replaced every piece of flooring in this place. Y'all, the subflooring was so bad in so many areas, I would have been a fool to try to save that ugly linoleum flooring or whatever you call that stuff. What you call that sticky stuff, y'all? Like even today, now I'll admit, in my mobile homes that I'm doing, y'all, I am putting that nice sticky fake tile. Completely different rehab when we talking mobile homes. Okay? I hope my Smith family, Lance family, Roundtree family, and Zuleika, I think that's how you said, the Zuleika family is here. If any of you all are here, please just shout me out in the chat, because I know that we lately have been talking about this. All of y'all in a different way. We've talked about this. So here we go, y'all. We got to renovate it now, right? Ta-da! Come on, y'all. Are we looking a little bit better? I know I'm on room number 1, but are we looking a little bit better? And I forget, y'all, the name of that paint. Oh, my God, I'm so mad at myself. But it puts me in a mind of like the color of oatmeal, but more of a blander color. And I forget the name. We got the flooring from, what is it? Floor and Decor? I'm sorry, Shay? Floor and Decor. For my business credit people, a lot of this rehab, y'all, all of it, none of this was done from my pocket. Guys, I didn't have this money. And this is where we talk about utilizing business credit cards, obviously being careful with that. But what if you don't have it? What if you're a fix and flipper and you're going to fix this place immediately and sell it, unlike me and Shay? Me and Shay did what you call fix and flip, but we're going to hold it for a while. We're going to collect rent. We're going to collect equity. And guys, if you remember, and if you go and research this, in fact, my IMB people, I'm going to give y'all the address and everything to it, so that you can literally go on Zillow right now and you can see what the guy bought it for that gave it to us. And not gave, but you know what I mean? He bought it for 10 grand, y'all, from his cousin. You're going to see a transaction that say 9 grand. The next day say 10 grand. And on 4/20/22, we bought it for 74 grand. And it's the house you looking at right now. Notice, Tia going to be proud of me. Notice I didn't go with them cheap blinds. The one that when you peek out the window, Tia, they split by the 3rd time you do that. And they get a crack and they do this, Tia. Now, guess who made me do that? Because, again, that kind of wasn't my idea. But, Tia, you'll be proud that I approved of it. Mom Forston. Y'all shout Mom Forston out and Shay in the chat. Because some of this stuff, y'all, I'll admit, I said, hey, y'all, now, let's not get fancy now. Well, Derek, if you get the harder ones, they'll last longer. These same blinds are in this house today doing great. We got the floors from Floor and Decor on business credit. Shay and I both applied. They gave Shay 22 grand. They gave me 18 grand. So a lot of this stuff, paint and all of that, came from my people. So I didn't do that. Now I'll admit, some stuff I think I'm going to do a little bit different next time. But even this flooring, I didn't allow my guy to get this flooring and then upcharge me on that. Shay and I went online, ordered it, talked to the lady, because when you got your own business account with them, they deliver it for you to the address you wanted to go and the day you wanted to be there. I'm still going, and don't forget, y'all, these windows were rotted. I'm sorry, Shay. Shay's in the building, y'all.
Hey everybody, I'm gonna be the voice without the face, like the lady on the that one.
And let me know if y'all can hear Shay, just to make sure I didn't mess up anything technically. So let me know if y'all can hear Shay.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. So what I wanted to put in there, Derek, is that not only did we purchase the flooring, but we purchased the flooring in Orlando, and we had it delivered to Georgia. Remember that?
Yep.
So it wasn't even that we had it in our, that we had it and ordered it while we were in Georgia. We actually did everything from an operational standpoint here in Florida and had it delivered to the property. So that was a blessing to our business representative. And that was no additional cost to us because of what we spent. And Derek, like, I want to even tell them to go as far as, how much do you think we paid per square foot? Like, that's the part that's amazing. I think this was it $1.99? Yeah, it was really inexpensive.
No, it was under that, because Shay, if you remember, we got lucky. It was a new product.
And it was a sale. Yep.
It was they were just trying to push it. So when my teaching, I'm going to try to keep y'all at under $1 a square foot.
Right. It was like 99
This
cents.
Was in that range of something that should have been like $2.97 a square foot, but it was well under that.
Yeah.
It might have been $1.99. I think it was under that, actually.
It was between 99. It was between either $1.99 or 99 cents per.
That's
it
what
was one of the two.
I don't think it was like on that $2 end.
Yeah, we were looking at a few different colors.
Shay's nonprofit. So a lot of times, guys, we benefit simply because Shay has a nonprofit organization. So a lot of times we'll save on taxes and we'll get deals that, watch this, y'all, that they'll never tell you about unless you mention it. So now Shay has made it a habit to say, hey, ma'am, sir, I'm not sure if you guys do, but I'll just ask. I have a nonprofit organization. Do you guys give discounts? And sometimes I'm like, why? Certainly we do.
Yeah.
Guys, they don't advertise it or tell you.
They don't.
Can you imagine going buying all this flooring and get to the counter and just by whim you asking, you just saved $935 because you asked the question? Come on, y'all. So back to these pictures. I'll admit y'all call me crazy, but this is my most favorite picture in the whole house. This is that dumb room that somebody thought it was a great idea. Now you can see how dumb this would have been. Now you can actually see the front door. Tell me why in the world would you have put a door right there if that's the front, a wall, if that's the front door, Tia.
And then a door.
And then, Tia, it was another door to get out of that room.
Yeah, it was tacky.
Guys, if you want to spend $1,200 to redo that, just change your whole mind about being in the flipping game. Change your whole mind about rehabbing places, and you do, and nothing wrong with that. You do need to be the guy that I'm talking about that buys the house that we selling right now. It's an investment property, and it's got a renter in it.
Right.
Remember, I told you guys there's two kinds of investors when we're talking about this side of it. It's the guy that say, nope, I want to do what Derek talking about. I want to go buy a piece of junk that ain't worth nothing, and I want to fix it and make it pretty and go to the bank and say, look, bank, what I did. And can you give me the difference between what it was worth and what it's worth now?
But now also...
And then one of y'all say, no, Derek, man, I want to buy the one you got right now for sale where you already got the renter in it because you already bought it, renovated, and put the renter in it for me. Take your choice. In fact, right before Shay hop on, let's just do a small pool. And this is for current people and people that hit us tomorrow and 5 days from now. Put in the chat, which are you? Or if you're a hybrid of both, put that. But A, are you somebody that wants to buy a fix and flip and force the value into it so that it'd be worth more? Or do you want to buy the already done product with the renter in it to collect rent from day one? Let me know in the chat. Shay, hop in there.
No, I was just getting ready to say that think about what we did with this property, right? And now implementing, if this was going to be a long-term hold situation for us, if we had implemented the pill method, right? If we would have implemented the pill method in this home, because I've even talked about this house before in regards to paying more attention to our balance sheet. What does that house or that document look like? And what are we paying for this house? Y'all heard me talk a lot of junk one day about, I looked at our mortgage statement for our house that we owed X amount of dollars on. And what I noticed was only $68 was going to the principal payment. Well, this is it. Okay, this is the house. So imagine if we were going to position ourselves to hold it long term, the pill method would have definitely been initiated in this house because we could have actually paid this house off because of it having a long term renter in it within probably a 4-year mark. We could have cut off some extra years. So it wouldn't have been the 7 to 9 because of how low we purchased the home and how we were able to force so much equity in it. We would have been able to cut that time frame down with the pill method. Not the 7 to 9 years, but possibly the 5 to 7 years that he talks about for the churches. So this is what you look at when this is why this event on the 31st is super important, because Derek's showing you this information on how you can get into real estate. But now let's talk about your exit strategy, right? How can you force more equity into a property by paying down the mortgage a lot quicker? You can now force the equity, the cash value that you can now go and if you do go and refinance when you're closer to the end of that mortgage and then repeat that cycle of the pill method again, you're really lucking up. So you don't want to miss the January 31st event. I'm sorry I'm not on camera tonight, guys, but I just wanted to come here and be a voice of reason because I'm excited that Derek is teaching this as we're so close to this event, because now you can get an understanding from the perspective of why would I want to pay off a mortgage in 7 to 9 years? Or why do I need to be so educated and informed or informed of spending less in interest cost? Well, this is the reason why, because as an investor, you want to be mindful of your profitability. How are you profiting on this property if you're paying twice the amount of it for holding the mortgage for 30 years, right? You're paying for 2 houses practically. But now if you can implement by not using your own money, but implementing the extra funds from the rent that you're getting now and adding it towards those payments within the pill method, you're now benefiting yourself so much more and paying the bank so much less in interest cost. So with that being said, if you have not purchased your ticket for the Pillars of Prosperity Conference, I'm gonna need you to do so ASAP, because
put the information in the chat for us as well.
Well, as of this week, we are on the countdown. So I am like, if you haven't even, some people have received text messages from us, go ahead and select your meal option. That information is going out this week by, I think Wednesday is my cutoff time. And Friday is the absolute last day for any ticket sales. So you want to definitely go ahead and get those tickets.
And can you guys hear Shay? I just want to make sure, because Shay, I don't see you on stage.
No, I'm not on stage,
but they can still hear you though.
I'm flowing through your I'm going through your feed.
Good stuff.
But yeah, I definitely want you guys not to miss out. This is information that you're going to hear. You know, we will talk about this a little bit during that segment. And we do have an amazing surprise that's going to take place at the event. I will not share that yet. But there are several different surprises that will be happening at this event. And we want you all to be in the place. This is information that you can use as you are looking even at the mobile home space and all of these other opportunities to obtain an asset to start your housing program. Let's be wise. Let's be educated and informed on how we can make the best decisions financially as investors, as business owners, and all of that good stuff. I yield.
Bang, bang, good stuff. So Tia said yes, that they could hear you. So I just wanted to make sure. So again, guys, if you just join us, I'm simply talking about the birth strategy, which again is a great mixture with that whole thing Don is teaching as well, right? He's got a whole way to where you guys can actually cash out, refinance sooner if that is the goal, right? So again, back to the pictures. Remember, the birth strategy's got a lot of R's on it, right? And I'm only on the second R. Well, no, I'm actually on the
You're the
first R still, right? The renovated, right? Because we bought it and we've renovated it. So I'm just showing you guys again of kind of where it came from. Hopefully you already saw the older pictures. If you just joined us, like I see a few you all did, you can't appreciate what you're looking at right now if you didn't see the mess this was earlier. Hopefully by now, a lot of you all can also see why I chose to save these cabinets, right? And refinish even the knobs. So 2 things went into that. 1, because I was just trying to save money. 2, those knobs honestly were so old, you couldn't find those in the store like that. And what they were made of, the contractor chose to just repolish them and paint them black, which I absolutely loved. We were going to do the chrome ones because, guys, you can go to Home Depot and buy chrome handles. I actually liked his idea. To me, that was some whole HGTV type stuff because, and I'll use the word antique, this house is older. And because those knobs were so, I'm going to just call old and unique, we chose to just, I'll use the word sand, polish, and repaint. So that's what we chose to do. So hopefully you guys can appreciate me doing that. And again, those are those granite countertops, guys, that I'm honest enough to tell you all that, in my opinion, we really did over rehab in this area. And it was only on the countertops. Everything, yeah, I did. Everything else was on par for this area. Countertops for granite for this area was not, but because we were doing this during that time, we were coming out of COVID and everything was on delay. The cheaper stuff would have took 8 more weeks to get it. And remember, during the birth strategy, guys, I want to finish this process to put a renter in it. So why wait 8 weeks when my guy gave me a great deal? And guys, it was something stupid like, Derek, give me an extra, I think it was like $600, and we'll do granite everywhere that you was gonna get that linoleum stuff. I was like, huh? And boom, we ran out of and got that. So I'll admit, that was a blessing at the same time, because I would have never put granite in this location. I said that 20 times, but I just wanted to make that clear, because I know that specifically there's a few families we were talking about this week of rehabbing, and there's a such thing as over rehabbing depending on where you are. If I can't get the value back out of it, meaning that if I spend X amount of dollars and it don't double in the comp, guys, I could be throwing away money. And first of all, the tenant that I'm looking for, they don't appreciate the granite, and neither can they afford what you want to charge because you spent the money on the granite. Anyway, I did not go cheap, and we did replace that sink brand new. We did not reuse that. That is a brand new faucet. The sprayer was not a part of this thing. We built that. He created that, added that. I was super proud of that. Oh, I thought that was the last of that pictures. Looks like my team added more. So it looks like they got me the day that we even put the stove in it. Some people ask that when you flip a house, do you have to put a stove, refrigerator, and washer and dryer? To my knowledge, somebody go correct me if I'm wrong, but to my knowledge, the washer and dryer is kind of optional. You're just being a good guy. But I think, depending on where you live at and what city and state, the refrigerator and stove may be kind of like you got to.
Yeah, Georgia.
Shay, am I right about that in Georgia?
Yeah, Georgia was a yes.
Okay. Shay, is your mic still on?
Oh, I don't have it next to.
Okay.
Georgia is a have to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the reason why we went in and we had to get new.
And again, I'll be honest, I was going to just put a black stove in there, and my mom was like, Derek, really?
It was on sale, Derek. Stop.
Shay was like, Derek, really, bro? Like,
it's
you
on
don't put
sale.
Derek. Hey, Tia, they said, Derek, you don't put the granite in here now.
Yeah,
Katara.
you can't.
Katara, once we got that granite, they want me to get everything else top notch now, y'all. But again, I jokingly say that stuff. That's why I also got a team of people that got better taste than me, that know better than me, and that won't cut corners maybe when I will. Amen, everybody? So that's why, again, it's always good to do things as a team. And that's why, Katara, I complimented you on that post earlier today. I like how you're involving your family with this thing, right? It ain't just you now. Like, that was so powerful for me to read that when you say, Derek, man, I got my mom involved in it. She put her touch on it. Shay don't know this, but yes, Shay, her mom got into it now, and she's putting her advice and her touch into it, and she's there helping. So to me, that just warms my heart, and I don't want to give that too long because I start crying on y'all. But that's what it's all about, man, is that when you get into this, it is bigger than you. And I always talk about team. I like the word team actually a little bit better, actually, because I can also be family and a team, right? So I love it when you guys make it a team, but it's still family to the core, okay? So as you guys can see, if you've been here the whole time, if you have, put a number 7 in the chat. If you've been here the whole time and see that this place was a piece of junk a minute ago, put a number 7 in the chat if you're still here. Because if you're just catching on to the newer stuff, it's hard to appreciate what you're looking at. So again, guys, very beautiful how this place came out. Again, the cabinets were sanded and painted. There was a piece of cabinet that we had to add. That piece by the refrigerator, I don't know if my team put it here, because I'll admit y'all, I ain't even seen this whole thing yet. I just told my team to do it, and Shay fixed it. But Shay, if you remember, that's brand new. So that cabinet beside the stove and the refrigerator, that was in such bad condition, y'all. And y'all, I tried, y'all. And Shay said, Derek, stop it. Stop it, Derek. Stop it, Derek. We gonna go buy that one, dog.
But you know what else was good about this, though?
We had contractor. Did the contractor build it or buy it?
He built it.
He built that.
Our contractor was amazing, and he's known as the guy to go to for those cost-effective flips.
Mr.
So
Rudice.
He doesn't. Yeah, Rudice is one of those people that does not overextend himself. He doesn't take corners, neither, though. But he's quick to tell the investor, listen, let's scale away from this and let's bump up your budget here. So it's good to have people that you can work with that know what you're doing and know how to do it for you at a cost-effective price. And like, he was like the Tasmanian devil running through this thing, y'all.
And what I like about him, and Shay said it, but I'm going to say it in a little bit of a different way because you guys are going to hear it in this term. When you're looking for a Rudice in your area, he needs to be investor friendly.
Yes.
Meaning he understands that you trying to make some money too. So why you think he was on board with me saving these cabinets? Why you think when I tried to save the floor, he said, Derek, stop it, dog. Like, you trying to reset this house eventually. We got to put new floors in here, Derek.
Yeah.
Like, so I like his opinion that even when I wanted to say, and I wouldn't even call it cutting the corner. I would call it they're just trying to be so fiscally responsible with the flip and not wanting to outspend the area, not outspend the comp that I'm going to get back. But he's like, no, Derek, we can save this. We can save this. But dog, we doing this. We got to do this. We got to place the window.
He looked out for us in a lot.
He looked out in a lot of ways, and you guys can see it in this product. So now you're seeing every room that had window damage, that had flooring damage, and the way that it looks a little weird on this screen. About that? Shay did a what you call, I think, a panoramic picture, panoramic. And that's why this looks a little janky. But she wanted y'all to see the whole room without having to take multiple pictures. So this is Shay standing at the beginning of the room doing a panoramic picture. So again, guys, those floors were very affordable, brand new. The paint on the wall, and again, guys, when you're doing a flip, I'll admit, man, when you put paint on a wall and some flooring, man, it's hard to beat that, because those are just simple things, what we call kind of lipstick on the pig. Simple things, right? In and out to be able to. Now, forget about the termites and the flooring was messed up. If you buy a place and all that's good and all you need is paint and flooring, man, you can completely change a place, guys, simply by paint and flooring. Here again, another room that we're super proud of. I haven't got to, I don't even know if it's here yet, but I also like the fact that he went into every closet. Some contractors, what I found out, Shay, they'll shortcut you and won't do the closets.
Correct. We've seen that.
Or they'll try to charge you extra. Because, Shay, guess what house didn't have it when we bought it? This one. Yeah. So when we open the closet, y'all, that pretty nice, I'm going to call it not vinyl, but that laminate flooring, none of the closets had it. That's crazy. Come on, guys, finish the job. And then some people, now I'll let this slide. If you don't give me the stuff I bought for you to put in there, please put some fresh carpet in there then. No problem.
Yeah.
But dog, don't let me open my closet till and you just got the bare floor on the ground now. Like I can see the subfloor or that cot or that padding. Man, stop it. And that's what we saw in this house before we fixed it. So again, and that's why I even told the realtor, I said, hey, now, I don't know if y'all do this, but I'm so on marketing and social media. If you guys want a video of what this whole process was to give to the potential buyer, please let me know, because I'll furnish it. Yeah. They need to see what this was. Sometimes it's hard to appreciate what you getting when you buy it so pretty. Because when Raphael said, well, Derek, do you got pictures of it so I can show people? He didn't ask for the rehab pictures. He don't want that. But I'll admit, if I became a realtor tomorrow, you don't think I would show them the before of this? To me, that helps sales it. Yeah. To show what you've done. Now, on the teacher side of this, that's why I'm posting it on my page now. Yes. So guess who's going to be posting these pictures on Facebook and Instagram? Me and my team. To show people this thing that we talking about buying. Look at what it was. And lucky for y'all saw the root of where it came from.
I'm ready for another one.
Now, I should be done, but looks like they still putting pictures. So as you can see, here's a teaching moment, small lesson. You can put the LVP, y'all, through the entire house. Yes. Bathrooms, laundry rooms, bedrooms, everywhere. Now watch this. Some people choose to do carpet in the bedrooms when they're flipping property. I chose to go throughout the whole house. Easy cleanup. No replacing of carpet. Oh, and by the way, easy cleanup. Come on, man. The lady living in the place right now got 3 kids in it. 2 toddlers and an arm baby. Yeah. Now, where I'm from in the city, an arm baby means anything from birth to probably about 8 months old. Until they start stretching and crawling and walking. That's a lot of milk and juice and Capri Suns and Kool-Aid on the floor. Coffee that mom's spilling on the way out the door, rushing to daycare. Guys, I don't want carpet in none of my rental properties. Just a small lesson from me. Take it if you want. You don't have to. Not laminate, because all laminate is not waterproof. Right. That's why we like LVP. luxury vinyl plank. Make sure waterproof, water resistant. Kind of a difference depending on how they market it, but make sure that it's LVP. My opinion. Don't do laminate, in my opinion.
Please don't.
Now, if it's a mobile home, you're just trying to get fast and you're selling it, maybe. But for the most part, in rentals with lots of traffic, foot traffic, LVP, tile. Make it indestructible, right? Forget it. I hate carpet. Okay, so again, I hope you guys appreciate it. Again, I'm gonna keep scrolling because I don't know how much they put here. This is something else I think we saved. Let me see. That a toilet with the sticker still on it? I can't even remember that.
Yes.
That's what you call a pedestal. Now I'll admit, because it was in such great shape and it's kind of got that antique feel to it, we kept it. But I'll admit today, I probably would toss that. But by now, I'll admit, in the flipper mind, I got so tired of spending money. Because I would normally win when you got a regular vanity. Like the other house we flipped that I'm going to show y'all. And we go to Home Depot and buy that thing for $80. It's got a beautiful sink, square, with the cabinets on the bottom.
Yeah.
This is like, you know what, guys? This looks great. Rudy said, hey, guys, let's keep this pedestal sink. Some people in Georgia love this. Why not? Okay. So all bathrooms were just clinked up. Lucky for us.
I think we did something.
Oh, Shay, do you remember this? I think I got a picture of it. I think a week after we closed and a lot of this stuff was done, we found, oh no, I think a renter was actually in it.
She was in it, yes. And
and there was some kind of plumbing problem through the wall. So again, but after all of this, I'm going to end it like this. We do or like to do what we would call make the rental indestructible. Meaning, guys, I don't get no calls from this place for maintenance issues. Derek, fix this. Yeah. Derek, fix that. The only time we check our account at the first of the month, or usually around the 11th, because if you got property management, you don't get your money on the first. That's another teacher moment. The only time I don't see the full amount, like this past month, I say, Shay, we didn't get the full amount. Karen must have serviced something.
Yeah, AC or heat. Yeah.
Now, I'll admit, most of the time when it happens, I'm like, man, like, what's she doing now? But guys, if Karen is not servicing that AC, guess who ain't thinking about it in Florida? Me, Shay, because I'm busy trying to save the world over here. So every now and again, like once every 6 months, I think it's twice a year, we'll see a deduction of what should have came into the account for like $200. Like, wait a minute, what just happened? Why are we short? Is the tenant short? Karen, no, Derek, we did an annual inspection on your blah, 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 on your blah, blah, blah. And guys, but in terms of toilet, just sink, and just problems, because when we bought it, we said, Shay, let's make this place indestructible.
Yep.
LVP owned the thing, buy the kind of paint that if they get anything on it, you can wipe it off. Guys, all of this went into buying this place. And again, this is just simply called the BRRRR strategy, where we buy it, renovate it, rent it, refinance it, and repeat the process. And we still going, look like. If I can remember, these cabinets were in pretty good shape and we kept it.
He repainted those.
I think we repainted it. And I think we kept the faucets. I think we changed the shower head in this one.
And we changed the light.
And lucky for, all lights got changed. Every light in this house. All new vanity lights, all new hallway lights. Beautiful lights, guys, from Lowe's for like $9. You know the little, when they got a little chrome trim around it, guys, you get those for like $9. The whole house got that. So when the ceiling's painted, all the lights are beautiful and they shine brighter. So guys, when you walked in this house, it literally looked brand new. So here we are on that other R. Remember, buy it, renovate it, rent it. So who are we going to rent it to? Section 8? To an ILF operator? Will you do shared housing in it? Or will you give it to a Miss Karen, property management, and let her deal with the whole thing while you turn your back on it and go do something else? Guys, we thought we was doing Section 8. Yeah. We thought we was going to ILF it, but what's cool, Karen understands it, and she would actually allow us to do it, and she manage it.
Yep.
Another story for another day. But watch this. Shay chose the latter. Said, Derek, let's ask Raphael if he knows somebody that can manage this property. I told you guys, relationship makes all of this happen. I didn't know Miss Karen before Raphael introduced us. So again, renting it, meaning that again, I want to show the bank, like, look what I did, bank. I bought it at this low, crazy price. I forced equity into it by renovating it. I put show rental agreement and property management agreement. That was a personal note for me. I slipped because I forgot to send it to my team because I wanted y'all to actually see that. That's nothing to hide. I want you to see what a property management rental agreement looked like. Mm-hmm. That's nothing to hide. It's not like, oh my God, it's a secret. Some people won't show you that. I want you to see it. What is the agreement that we agreed upon? What is her job? What is she responsible for?
She's amazing too, though.
And I'll admit, y'all, I hear a lot of horror stories about property managers. Guys, we found a golden goose. I mean, she care about your property almost more than you do, right? And now when we're at this stage when we want to sell it, guess who's selling it? Her. She knows regular people, investors, business people. So again, one more time, really slowly, buy it, renovate it, rent it. And the whole reason why I want to rent it and why I need that first, because I want to show the bank the rental agreement that I got with Karen, and I want to show the bank my property and management agreement, meaning that I got somebody managing it and I got this tenant in it paying down the debt. That's why the birth strategy, people say, is so genius because, again, if you do this the right way, you can do this with no money from your pocket. Some people do this from business credit, business lines of credit. Credit cards. I told you guys, our first 2 properties, guys, were bought from a credit card. Proud of that. Because, again, years ago, didn't know that could be done. And because of that, right now, because I'm told y'all, if you go look this property up right now, it's not even been listed 24 hours yet, I don't think. Or is this day Friday. Right? So, guys, this property's for sale now. That's what I'm telling you guys. To exit to something else. And if you want it, just
go to Zillow and look.
Go to Facebook right now. I posted it today with the link of my realtor. Unbeknownst to him, he posted it 5 minutes after me and shared me in it. We didn't even tell each other. Crazy. And then he called me. Of course, we said, Derek, I know. He said, yep. I said, I saw yours too. Keep it going. Because I also told him my mobile home dream. And we'll talk about that later. But again, the whole purpose of me renting it is to show the bank. It's almost like, nanny boo boo, look what I did. Bank, I bought it at 74. Bank, I put 30 grand in it.
Yep.
How much is it worth now according to your comps? And by the way, can I get the difference in between those 2 numbers? That's called a cash out refinance.
After you forced equity.
So again, I hope I'm not going too fast or going over anybody's head. We find a property, whether on market, off market. Hopefully you just find a great deal. Lucky for us, not that Zillow means a whole lot, but the Zestimate on this house when we bought it was like 20 grand more than what we paid for it. Right. So that was a good sign.
You got to buy smart.
It was between 15 and 20 grand. So we bought it for 74. The Zestimate was like 81, 84. Like 10, like 15 high. Like, so that was a great start. And then we knew the guy that bought it, like, man, he priced this thing kind of nice. He ain't paid but 10 for it, so he only want 60. Okay. And guys, when we ran the comps, because we used a realtor and a property manager, like, you know what, we can buy for this. It could be worth this. So you guys can do a cash out refi
and then you can collect rent for this. Yeah.
So look at what we did, guys. We went and did a cash out refinance because that's the next one. Meaning, give me all my money back. I show you a term sheet. I'm going to show y'all next time what the term sheet looked like, that when you say, well, Derek, I found a property and man, my family want to buy it. And Derek, I got 20% down. Guys, I can give y'all a term sheet in 48 hours to show you what it'll cost you, how much you need down, what the interest rate going to be, blah, 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 fix and flip, all of that.
Then we're going to connect you with the pill method so you can pay that sucker off.
So again, guys, we bought it, we renovated it, forced the equity into it. Remember, I told you, if you go buy my house in Warner Robins, Georgia right now, there is no equity you can force into that place because I did all the work. Yeah. You don't believe me? I just showed you. Real fast and in real time. Boom, boom, boom. This is after. No. All of this is after. So if you just joined us, watch this. It's finna get ugly now. This is what it was. This is what I want to prove to the bank. That bank, look what I did, bank. Bank, you trusted me with this fix and flip product? That's what you saying to Derek and Forster Consultants, really? Because remember, we can loan y'all the money. Derek, look what we did. Because guess who you can come back to for the cash out refi?
That same
This
bank?
slide says, well, who would lend on such an ugly property? We will. Guess who will refi for you too? We will. God bless my brother. My brother was one of my first deals. He said, bro, I done bought a lot of properties, but I went through you and bought this property and closed in less than 20 days. Guys, can you imagine buying a property in less than 20 days from start to finish? Meaning that if you got all your paperwork in a row, now you got to find and you gonna call me back in 2 days and in 2 weeks and but if you got all your stuff, can you imagine finding the property, connecting with us and closing in 20 days? That's what asset-based lending is like. Now, are all deals like that? No. I tell everybody, give us 60, 30, 60 to go long, because I want to give you a real high expectation with, like, you know what I mean? Like, how's that saying go? Help me, y'all. How's that saying go? I want to give
under promise and over
that's it, Shay. I
want
to under promise and over deliver. Thank you, Shay. Thank God for Shay, y'all. Jesus, I can't think of none of my favorite quotes tonight. Can you imagine that? And that's what this is. So again, here I go. Just showing y'all again this ugly house. This is ugly, y'all. I bought a piece of junk.
And Derek, you
not being funny.
Yeah, and
go ahead, Shay.
Also remember, they can even build on the back, because remember, there's that building.
I didn't even show them that.
You didn't show them that.
I kept it simple, Shay.
Wow, the back of this house has
I didn't show them how they put a tile that should go on the floor on top of these counters.
Yeah,
piece of junk. Because guess why it's like that, y'all? Because the guy bought it for 10 grand. You think he cared?
No, somebody stole
because
the
guess
copper
what?
piping.
He was also renting this place to somebody.
Yep, they stole the copper pipes. Remember that?
Shay, you telling them all the stuff that I forgot about.
So much stuff
I love that.
in this deal.
Y'all, we had to spend money. Shay, what was that line through?
From the city.
The spigot to the city to the house.
They stole the pipe.
They stole all that copper, y'all.
All the copper. They stole the copper out of the AC unit, remember?
Come on, y'all.
They stole
why you think I put a brand new AC on this place?
Yeah.
Because they stole the one that was there. I didn't want to buy an AC unit.
The unit at this house is in a gate. It's chained. Like it's gated. Like it's covered. So nobody can't just come and steal it and take it and run with it.
Again, y'all found this piece of junk.
Yeah.
And I'll admit, I found this on market. This was on Zillow, y'all.
It was, yeah. Yeah.
And just nobody kind of really, a couple of people jumped on it, couple of people didn't. One guy tried to, his deal didn't fall through, and I was kind of like the backup offer. But look at this. But maybe you can see why, because guess what? If they got an inspection like I did, they saw all these problems. They saw that tile on top of the dadgum counters.
Yeah, that was terrible.
I saw the vision of, if these cabinets aren't that fake wood that's gonna crumble anyway, we gonna save these counters. I went to knocking and smelling and touching and
y'all don't ever walk
I'm
with
bad,
Derek.
y'all.
Don't
Shay,
ever walk with Derek. Listen, you're gonna have to sanitize him.
And Shay, I told them when they saw these pictures, they thought, oh my God, these floors are beautiful. We just gonna paint the walls.
Yeah, right. Now when
me and Shay walking through, almost fell through the dadgum floor, y'all.
It was so funny.
Had to strip it.
You had to, yeah.
And again, can you imagine doing all of this with no money from your pocket, but maybe from business credit or from a business partner that believe in what you're doing?
Yep.
Guys, I told most of y'all that saw Shay and I flip that blue house, guys, somebody gave us 50 grand to do that and then 20 more to fix it. Because they believed in the deal. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, what if they don't even believe in you, but the deal's so good they can't miss it?
Yeah.
And guys, that's what a lot of this is about, is that you don't have to have the money. But what if you got your credit right this year? And I'll admit, I try to stay in credit repair because we always doing stuff that make our credit go up and down. Because right now, my credit down. So guess who's going in credit repair? Again, me. I stay in it.
Rinse and repeat.
Just like the last R said, repeat that credit too.
Yeah.
Because when you can get above that 700, sky's the limit in terms of business credit. Getting business credit cards with $10, $20, $30, and $40,000 on it to go and do this. Not money from your pocket, from your 9-to-5 job, from your bank account, that the money you feed your family with. Not once you find the termites eating the walls out. Look at this stuff.
Yep.
Please tell me if you were here from the beginning and you saw the end of this. Because I'm showing you now. Shay never thought she was going to have to push this much of sheetrock in that house. We didn't think that. The guy said, well, around the windows, you got a little termite damage. Rudy said, Derek, the more we cut, bro, the more we see all the wood ate up. So they eat up the wood, they eat up sheetrock, they eat up that insulation. Termite just eat all that stuff. He don't care. He get drunk on that wood and start eating insulation. He start eating that sheetrock. It was all damaged.
Derek, did you tell them how quick they went through this and teared everything out? They told us a week. They told us demo was going to be a week. Demo ended up being 2 days.
Who got a picture every day of what they was doing, Shay?
We did.
Shay was not here when I told y'all, so y'all gonna know if I'm lying. Shay, did we get a picture or a video every day of this stuff?
Yeah, when they arrived to property, he pretty much told us what he was going to attempt to get done that day. And by the time they finished for the day, he sent walkthrough videos and pictures.
We do not pay these contractors all up front. The devil is a liar. Mm-hmm. Guys, don't get taken advantage of. Rudis is a good guy, but I wouldn't even pay him all up front.
And this
you
was
paying
our first
draws.
time actually working with him too. So it was
a pleasure working with Rudis.
It was. He made it very easy for us.
And watch this, Shay, because I didn't even talk about this. We introduced Rudis into, hey, bro, we don't pay in cash. We pay with credit cards, Rudis. He said, huh? I said, Rudis, you thought I was finna give you cash for all of these big numbers you just quoted me? He said, yeah, that's what we do. I said, well, what we do, we use credit cards.
Yeah.
He said, well, how I'm going to take that? Here we go again, giving business one-on-one to a businessman. No knock on my guy, Rudis, because he on all of that now. But Rudis didn't know what a Square account was. He didn't know what a Stripe account was.
He wanted to check.
He didn't know that he can just, I said, Rudis,
cash.
I am not finna give you 17 grand a day. I'm not giving you 22 grand the next day. I'm not giving you 9 grand the next time. I'm not giving cash from my account. I said, but Rudis, I got a bunch of credit cards that is good as gold, bro. And if you want to charge me a fee to run it, because he gonna charge you, run that too.
Derek, with 0% interest.
Come on, Shay. They're not even listening. Mr. Terry, is you listening to this?
Interest for 19 months. I think one of them was
Mr. Terry,
19.
you thought I had that money in my pocket?
Yeah.
Shay just told you how much a percent on those cards?
0.
Man, stop playing, Shay. How much, Shay?
0% interest.
Okay.
And think about it. So a lot of them had rewards. So when we got the cards, we had gotten them right in that entrance of the rewards program. So when we started doing these flips, you were getting double the points on every $5,000 you spend. You were getting X amount of points on this or cash rewards. So think of it that way. When you utilize credit cards to do stuff like this, always have an exit plan. What is your exit strategy, right? Don't just get all willy-nilly because you got 0% interest, right? Because 19 months ago and come and go real quick on you, especially in this, if you don't set yourself up right. So literally we were able to, let's say one of our credit cards, we were able to get close to, lots of points. Just put it that way, a lot of points, and we're able to utilize those.
And sometimes you can turn around and use that same card that you got the points from and go buy this window for $265. Mm-hmm. And again, lucky that was Warner Robins, Georgia, because that same window in Orlando might have been $480.
Yeah.
Right?
It was powerful seeing the difference. It was powerful seeing the difference in what things cost here compared to
major difference, Shay.
You would have thought you were in Bermuda and Florida. Like you would have thought it was two completely different countries, but it was a whole.
I'm gonna have my team also put that PowerPoint together for the rehab that we did in Orlando.
Oh, Jesus.
A lot of my newer people, you guys have seen that, and I'll let Shay walk you guys through that. Shay was what I would call I was more like the lead on this one. Shay was more the lead on the big house, on the big project, right? And that's her house, right? That's her women's facility.
Yeah.
And the decision to get rid of the pool, you guys are going to really see kind of what went into that. So if 2 or 3 of you guys say, yeah, Derek, we want to see that one too, I'll show you guys that one even maybe tomorrow or maybe on Saturday morning. Shay?
And then what I'll share with them when we do that one is I'll also share with them, like, because people always hear, oh, Shay, you went over the project. But even on this house, I had a lot of input and project timelines, because what people don't know about me is that I was actually offered an opportunity in corporate America to do a huge project. And Derek, I'll add some of those pictures so people can actually see the I did a $10.5 million project at the hospital that I worked at, and still had to I shut down a whole department, but the department that supported the hospital, it still had to operate. So we were the first people. I was the first person to bring in a mobile sterile processing unit into Orlando, Florida, and operate one of the busiest hospitals to do joint replacements. So Dr. Phillips Hospital was doing about 5,000 to 6,000. It was like, no, not 6,000, 500 to 600 joint replacements monthly. And we had to literally squeeze an elephant through a watermelon. But it was pretty cool to see. So that's where I like timelines and stuff like that when it comes to construction is a big deal for me. So like when you get into the investor and the flipping, you have to run on strict timelines because you have like these 30-day windows to not come out of pocket for the mortgage that you're carrying, right? That mortgage to where you're not paying out of pocket that monthly fee. So you got 30 days to get it. So running tight schedules is what I'm good for. So I'll add those pictures too, Derek, so that they can see that as well.
I love that. And again, if you just joined us, we're kind of taking a poll, and I want to know. And I'm asking a question. Are you somebody that wouldn't mind a fix and flip like what you're seeing on screen? Meaning you want to buy something and add value? Just like, guys, there's a lot of value that got added by me spending $1,200. Mm-hmm. So what I mean by that, this brought us thousands of dollars back in terms of what we're selling it for. Because if I would have left that wall, and guys, you see where the front door is. How dumb is that to have a wall there and then another door that comes now into the rest of the house? God, this house will sit for months and months and months. So this is what I mean by buying something that you can add value to. This one move and adding this beam added so much value, light, space, and it's what everybody loves now, an open concept. And that if you had $1 for every time you heard that on a fix and flip show now, you guys would be rich. Everybody loves the open concept. And for this house to be built in the 70s, this house mimics a house that was built in the inside now in 2025.
But let me tell you the joke though. I think this is funny because my boss said, can we cut down? I said, can we knock down the wall? Yeah. Derek looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, no, this wall has to go.
No, I was with it.
You were, but you was like, man, it's going to cost so much money. And
yeah, I was I did thought the cost would be crazy. When he said that'd be about $1,200.
It was $1,200 to put this.
Here's a small teacher moment. Try not to be so blown by the price when people talk to you. But guys, it was hard because we live in Florida. Guys, it's completely different in Georgia. So when he said $1,200, I tried to act like it was normal. But I think he saw the giddiness in me. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to tell this water out for $1,200. I said, Shay, you know how much value this is going to bring to us?
It brought a lot of value.
So again, put in the chat, and Shay, I'm going to give it back to you. A, do you want to buy something that forces value into it to where to be worth more later, then collect money on the back end? Or B, do you want to buy something that's already fixed and flipped and got a renter in it already and collect rent day one? Put in the chat, which one are you, or are you a hybrid of both? Miss Shay, back on you.
Yeah, no, I just think it's exciting that, that you can see the significant difference, because even when we did some, as we were doing this project, we looked at other properties that were in the area for sale. And everybody had that really awkward floor plan.
Outdated, that ugly yellow paint. Like even the paint, and I'll go back to this color. If you guys remember the beginning pictures of that ugly yellow, that was throughout the whole house, but in certain other places, there was still other tannish colors. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure if you guys noticed that stuff, or you guys are really detailed like that. But again, man, this place is a complete different animal, right? Even the ceiling, some people will skip out and not paint the ceiling. To me, that's dumb. That's like a woman going to get her hair done freshly, but not doing her eyebrows and her nails. To me, it just doesn't match. It's like a guy getting a haircut, but not getting the edge, like the lineup, and not doing his beard. Yeah. To me, it's just undone that way, right? But again, as you guys can see, we discussed the birth strategy: buy it, renovate it, rent it to somebody, and refinance, meaning give me all my money back out of it so that I can repeat the process. And as again, you guys can see the granite countertops, the polished, redone handles that my contractor thought were so antique. Cut this sink perfectly to the size. I mean, look at the, I guess you call it workmanship. I mean, absolutely beautiful. I didn't want to get, here's another thing, right? Again, Derek, I didn't want to get such a fancy faucet. Now, to me, I picked one that was probably $35.
And we laughed at him, y'all.
Shay and my mom thought it was a joke. And we got this one that was probably a little over 100.
Yeah.
That's got the one that you can pull the actual like faucet and it stretches out, changes all that, got the beautiful handles, and it was nickel. We did nickel in the entire kitchen when it came to that. I think that's what they called nickel. That. And then again, just those harder blinds. I don't know what you call those blinds that are kind of hard, the thicker ones. Guys, that's just a small upgrade. I would highly recommend that if you did that. Don't put those cheesy. Now, I'll admit, in my ILFs, I do put those cheesy blinds. I'll do that in a heartbeat, especially if they're brand new, and I just kind of refresh them once or twice a year. But in these rentals, high traffic, that are going to be resold or reevaluated for cost, I am going to go that extra step and put those 3-inch fall blinds. I don't know what you call them. Tia, correct me in the chat, but I do that. Stainless steel is not always required depending on the area that you're in. Again, for this area, we didn't need it, but I think it got us a better quality renter.
It did.
So if that stuff matters to you guys, absolutely do it. I wouldn't recommend a stainless steel for you can do Section 8. But if you say, man, you know what? I want $100 more. I want $250 more. I want $360 more on my rent. Sometimes little stuff like that, guys, will bring you a better quality renter, and they don't mind paying the extra because you went the extra mile and didn't go get that scratch and dent black refrigerator for $200, but you actually spent the $1,300 and went and got something like that.
I want to add this, and a lot of people may not know this. If you're not used to Section 8 rentals, let's say we put initially that stainless steel in there, you will always, like, Lord forbid something went wrong.
Yeah,
you would have to replace.
That's a great point, Shane.
As is. That's like you can't downgrade what you placed in the rental.
Yeah. Section 8 won't allow it. That's not Shay's opinion, y'all. Like, that's a real gem. She just spit on y'all.
So just make sure you know a lot of the rules and things that you need to understand when it comes to Section 8. You will have to do like or better. You cannot downgrade. If it's like stainless steel, you can't go in there with a a used black fridge. That ain't gonna work. Section 8 will not be impressed with you.
So put in the chat, guys. I don't see that many new comments unless they're coming in late. Put in the chat. Are you more fix and force the value into it, or you somebody that want to buy it already done? Like, let me know in the chat. A and B. A, fix it, add value. B, buy it already done. Or are you a hybrid of both?
I'm a hybrid. I love the A. I love fixing and adding value. It's fun. I love to walk on a construction site. I love it. That's something that I've always just enjoyed doing. And being able to see something go from ugh to wow, being able to see that difference. So I'm a hybrid.
Absolutely. So Shay, I'm kind of like you as we shared, Shay. Our first property we ever bought, we partnered with my brother Otis, and we bought it cash. And I'll admit, guys, we bought that from a credit card. Like, I didn't have that money in my pocket, right? But I utilized the business credit card to buy it so that I can now collect monthly income rent from it. And then we sold it a couple years later, and we made money that way. So guys, again, man, real estate is an absolute great investment to get into. There's a lot of different lanes that you can try and get into. God has blessed us that we also have the opportunity to wholesale a property here in the very near future. I'll be very careful about that particular deal just because of how it's going to happen, who it is, and kind of some of the parameters around it. IMB people, you guys have the advantage of having private groups with me to where I can divulge a little bit more. versus being on this live YouTube channel. But God has presented another opportunity for us that I'm going to keep pretty private, that I would normally scream to the mountaintops. But this one will be kept pretty private. But if you're an IMB member, you guys are privy to some more private conversations where I can get a little willy-nilly, but we're in a private community together and not in front of, 20 billion people on YouTube. So look forward to that. Because again, you can buy real estate, you can sell real estate, you can do real estate options. That's a new thing that I'm kind of looking at, not really wanting to get into, but I'm reading on it. I love the mobile home real estate play. You guys can sell real estate on financing. You guys can do shared housing. You guys can rent to insurance companies. You guys can do, again, shared housing, co-living, communal living. You guys can do cash out refinance, the burst strategy like we're talking about now. You can buy something, renovate it, rent it, refinance it, and repeat the whole process over and over and over again. And then the last gem that I'll drop on the burst strategy is that if you essentially, listen to me carefully, if you do the burst strategy right one time, you never really have to go back in your pocket to buy property ever again. Because remember, the last R is repeat. And once you've refinanced and pulled your money out the deal is what we call it.
You put it back into another.
Put it back into another deal or put it back into what I put right here. Let me see. Meaning, so that other part that I also add to that is not there, but I'll say it. Sometimes Shay and I don't always do a cash out refi and put it back into property. Sometimes we start a business or we put it back into business or marketing to better a business. Make sense, everybody? So when you do that cash out refi, and the beautiful part about it, you don't have to pay taxes on it. Ding, 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 ding. Because it's a loan, ladies and gentlemen. So a cash out refinance, you don't have to pay taxes on it. So you're getting a lump sum of money. You keep the property. You're renting it out, collecting money that way. And then if you sell it one day, you also reap that money. So Shay and I are just living examples of a live burst strategy to where you also not just fix and flipped it. You fixed, flipped it, held it, rented it, and then sold it. So that means we're eating off of all of the menus on this house. Most of our houses, it's pretty much one set of menu that we'll eat from. Shay's current house, that's going to be a rental for a long time, probably. And that's what I'm going to probably call a legacy property. It'll be hard to sell that property. It will. Gotta have to present something to us that is just so unbelievable and just next level, and that will still take care of those women. That's what I would like to, and our big shout out to Courtney Fricky, who speaks on that word legacy property. That means one of these properties that you'll buy that you'll probably never sell. It'll just go from generation, or it'll take years to sell it. This property in Georgia for us was not a legacy property. We knew one day we would sell it, and probably not long after or within 5 years. Just so we're coming up on 4 years here in April. So if we still have this property in April, in fact, April 20th, it'll be what, 4 years?
Yeah, that's actually
3, 4, yeah.
If you do the math on that,
3 or 4 years.
Think about the math on that, Derek. Looking at the asking price based on what we put into the house and the return that we will get from that property. That's literally better than any high yield savings account that you can get anywhere. Absolutely. Right? Yeah. We're looking at a possibility of about 45 to 50,000, right? About 45 to 50, close to $60,000 in the what we will profit from this property. So just think of it that way, right? This was not a long-term strategy for this particular house. Just because of we was not going to sell in the first year, just to make sure that we also avoided those capital gains tax. Correct. So just to let you all know that if you do fix and flip a property, where a lot of people talk about, well, you shouldn't do that because it's capital gains. Well, yeah, if you do sell it within that first year, correct, it's capital gains tax. And then depending on who's your lender and how your terms were, most times they want you to keep these properties for up to 5 years before you can sell it. Yep. But if you do sell it in the first year, second year, third year, there's a small penalty that you do pay. So it's 2%, 3%, 4%, depending on what year, just to make sure that the bank get their money that they thought they was going to make from you too. Think about that. But since you sold it so fast. That interest. Right. That interest. Exactly. See
Exactly.
that? This is what. Listen, Derek.
That's why I brought this up, Shay. You weren't even here, and you're catching it already. So I hope they are.
I hope they are. And
that's why the January event is so important.
I am so y'all. Derek, I think tomorrow let's sit on this a little bit more, because I think it's important for people to put 2 and 2 together, right?
And Don was actually in here earlier, so
he was.
I saw his text kind of after I was going through some stuff, but yeah.
Okay, I wonder if he's still in travel, in transit. But yeah, I like this is the prime reason why you want to be at this event. For those of you that are want to even understand more about like the burst strategy and how you can get involved into real estate, change the way you think, especially when it comes to interest. We've seen so many fluctuations with the interest rates. I think they increased again recently, and everybody's biting their fingernails and they're scared and they're going crazy. Yes, the initial going in may be a little bit more excessive, but what you don't realize is it's easier to pay off a higher interest at a lower interest cost. It's higher to pay down a higher interest percentage, right, at a lower interest cost when you are utilizing the pill method. And this is why we're telling people you have to come to this conference to get this understanding, so that way you're not shaking in your boots when you're seeing the fluctuation in interest percentages. Interest cost, completely different things because of the way that it is how it is calculated and dispersed, so on a monthly basis. So you want to come and educate yourself on that, and by, like I said, learning what Daniel does with the pill method, you do not want to miss the Pillars of Prosperity conference. Like, I am so excited about this because now it helps us to even go a little deeper in our investment journey, Derek, because of the information that we've been learning on this journey with Dawn, like how to position ourselves, being able to really pinpoint your profitability. What is your profit margin now that you know that there's a way to mitigate some of the high cost of your interest? If you can decrease the cost, how much your interest cost you, you can now be able to see a higher profit margin because of that. So I'm excited about it. Every entrepreneur, every business owner and operator, the individual, it does not matter. The person looking to prepare for retirement, all of these things, debt, finances is always something that we're all looking at, no matter what walk of life you're in, no matter what perspective you're looking at it from. You are looking at your financial status and positioning. And what better way to be able to articulate or identify where your money is going by, than coming to this event and learning a new way of viewing your finances. And that is by and through the pill method. So I hope to see you all there. Miss Pierre, I'm going to send you a text message. I need y'all to get these tickets. Come on ahead and get your tickets. I know a lot of people said that they are in attendance.
This Friday is actually the last day to get tickets. Right. And guys, we need that because we got to put your food orders in too. So that's a big part of it. So, and guys, every time we have an event and we're used to it, we know a lot of y'all are going to be last minute. A lot of y'all going to book the last day. We know it, but still do it as fast as you can, because it just helps with the catering. It helps me a lot. And the event. It helps with Shay not pull all her hair out, right? So as soon as you guys can, now if you're just not sure and you're still trying to decide, that's one thing. But if you know you're coming, like the PR family, you guys don't have a choice. Y'all have to be there. All ILF Master Blueprint members, you guys are almost mandated to be there, especially if you're living within the state of Florida. You guys just have to be there, because I want to meet you too. So that's a big part of it. I want to meet you, but I also want you to come and soak up this information. And for so many of you guys, man, you guys are doing so well in this lane already in terms of what we teach. And I'm so proud of you all. I really want to personally meet you. So please make sure you do that. For the people that have booked, you should have been receiving text messages already about your meal choice. Right? So that's chicken, salmon, or steak. Please. Somebody hit me up the other day because I put a video out and I used the word "and." They thought they were getting chicken, steak, and salmon. It's not, guys. All of them got their own individual sides. So you just pick chicken, salmon, or steak. And please know, we forgot to say this, the steak is only served medium. So if you one of them
Derek.
well done or the medium well type, or you want a medium plus, they don't do any of that.
It's gonna be
you get it medium,
yes,
right?
And it is so delicious.
And guys, I'll admit, watch this. I am a kind of a medium well, medium plus kind of guy. I'm not an all the way medium guy, but I'll admit, guys, the way that steak came out, it was mwah. So again, if you are against the medium steak, do not get it. Because I would hate for you to get it. And then it's kind of not the medium well that you thought it would be. Because a lot of people also thought it was medium well last year and they loved it. So again, if you're not a medium person when it comes to steak, don't get it.
Right.
It's a New York strip and they serve it medium. And one more time, because someone said, well, Derek, I didn't hear it. And I'm going to play this back 5 times on the reel on Facebook, on a loop. So again, guys, chicken, salmon, or steak. And the steak is a New York cut, and it's only served medium. So don't put your order and say steak medium well or well done, please.
Yeah.
Don't do that, guys.
It's on the survey.
Because if they could do that for everybody, that'd be a clown show. So, and again, they recommend it because of the cut of steak and how they prepare it for it to be medium. Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited about it though, Derek. Really excited about the event.
And Shay, I'm putting mine in now. I want the steak again. Okay. Now for the tasting, I told her to bring them all. I want to taste the steak, the salmon, the chicken. We taste them all. But for the event, Shay, I do want the steak. So you can put my order in now.
Can I have some of your steak?
If you get salmon and let me have a piece, I might share. Okay. But that salmon last year was delicious. The steak was, oh my God, had this sauce on it. Everything was delicious, guys. First class. No bag lunches, no Capri Suns, no plasticware. Oh, we did find out the chef is the exact same.
Same chef.
So sometimes when you go to events or venues, they'll change the chef every 3 months because he just don't hang around because he's not good.
No chef.
Guys, we got the same chef from our June event. So we're excited about that. Shay, do we actually get to taste it again because we know what it is, or we don't get to taste it?
I didn't do a tasting. We didn't do a tasting this time.
Like, is that available, Shay? Or like, why didn't we say yes to that? Like, am I missing something?
Because I kept everything the same. So no, I didn't. No, I'm not doing it.
wait a minute. Hold it. Slow it down. Is it available, Shay?
No, we're too close to the event date.
Oh, I'm going to say Jesus. Because if it's available, let's go.
We could have done it for last week when we went. Yeah, but I didn't do it because
somebody just saw me miss out on a steak down here, but it is perfectly okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank y'all one more time. There is a family that just came in, the Wonders family. And you guys said if I could just go through those slides really quickly, you would appreciate it. No problem. I can do that. I'm going to go back from the beginning. You said that you heard the bird part, so I won't bore you on that. Go back and watch the replay if you just really didn't get it or you missed it. But I'm going to flip through these pictures really fast. And while I'm doing this, if you guys have any questions or concerns about our coaching, business coaching, our shared housing, I put on a slide, and my team going to kill me for it, especially Shay. It'll be up and running by next week, but I'm going to have my team build a form because somebody's going to watch this and be like, Derek, I got a property that I have in mind that I'm getting ready to buy. And I was getting ready to go to Bank of America or Wells Fargo. No, you ain't. You're going to come to us because we do asset-based lending because we're not going to ask you about your job, your W-2, or your tax return. Or if we do, it ain't going to be the deal breaker for the house. Remember, asset-based lending, guys, cares more about the property than they do about you, your background, or your makeup. So again, a job is not necessary. It helps. A W-2 is not necessary. It helps, right? Tax returns are absolutely, I don't even want to see them. And remember, trying to buy a house through Bank of America or Wells Fargo, they want to see all of that. You got to be on your job for 2 years, all of that. I don't even care if you have a job with asset-based lending. They care more about, do you got the 20% to go down as a down payment? And is the property worth what you talking about? And the ARV is there. If you want to fix and flip it, well, Derek, I want to do a fix and flip. Derek, I don't want to rent no properties. No problem. Does the ARV make sense? So again, if you're in that, I'm not the realtor. You don't come to me to find a property. You come to us when you found the property. Now you need the financing because you said, Derek said, I don't need my own money. I need that 20% as the down payment. And Derek take care of the rest, whether it's $100,000 or $100 million. Understood, everybody? So if you find a property, commercial or residential, from 100 grand to 100 million, I'm going to cover it. As long as you got your 20%, I cover the 80. Is anybody confused about that? From 100 grand to 100 million. And no, I don't got $100 million in the bank, because that's what some of y'all confused about. A bunch of hedge funds, a bunch of big banks and rich people back me. That's called being a business loan broker. That's the fancy way to say it. But literally what that means, I got a lot of hedge funds that back me. I got a lot of rich people, real estate investors, banks that back me, that only care about the real estate, not about your job, not about your 80 hours a week. But do you got the down payment to buy this house? Can you show a little money in the bank to show that you can handle this? And I don't care about your credit score per se, but the better your credit, the better the deal. Make sense, everybody? So as I end these slides and show you what a burst strategy is, meaning that we buy it, we renovate it, we rent it, and that's all for to say, hey, bank, look what I did. I bought this piece of crap. I fixed it. I put new flooring in it. I put new kitchens in it. I painted the walls, bank. And Mr. Bank, I even put a brand new AC in it because the last crummy guy stole it. And bank, look, I knocked this wall down right here, bank. So I added more light. I added more space. I created an open concept, bank. So bank, can you reevaluate this house now and tell me what it's worth after I fix these broken windows, after I take care of this termite problem? Guys, that's what the whole refinance situation is about. And who gonna refinance you? Me. So now you're saying, Derek, look what I've done, Derek. Because you said, Derek, go buy this piece of junk in the greatest neighborhood area and now fix it, Derek, and force the appreciation into it through renovation. Add the paint, add the sheetrock, add the subflooring. That's Rudy's right there. This was Rudy's starting to go into that realm of where he didn't wear like work clothes anymore. Like even this day, he got on regular tennis shoes. He got on a pair of denim jeans and a pink polo. Today, when you see Rudy's, he got on leather cowboy boots, denim jeans, and a button-up shirt that's got all the buttons down till you get to about number 4. Because that's just his style, and a cowboy hat. And a big old nice 2024 4-door Denali truck. So what does that mean? Even Rudy's has evolved now. Yeah. That was not the Rudy's from day one. I remember when the guy Trey that referred me to Rudy's, and when I told him about it, he said, what? I said, man, Rudy's pulled up in a nice. He said, yeah, man, I already see what's going on now. He said, but Rudy's done came up. Yeah. Humble beginnings get you to the big stuff.
And he's great.
Super humble guy. English used to be super broken. Now he speaks half good English and enough to get the job done with me, because I know a little bit too. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. All that stuff, right? Okay, don't take much, because when we understand the job of what needs to be done and he can show me proof of concept, not only did I trust Trey as a referral, but Trey, you got to show me some pictures, bro. Like, what has this guy done? I trust you, Trey, but can you show me some pictures? Mm-hmm. Trey said, absolutely, no problem. And again, like I told you guys before Shay walked in, relationship. Raphael led me to Karen. Trey led me to Rudy's. And now because of those people, I can buy a property in Warner Robins, Georgia right now blindly and tell Raphael to go check it out because he know what I stand for. He know my standards. And after you done, don't call me, Raph. Call Rudy's. Rudy's is in the same city you are in. I live in Florida. I'm 7 hours away. Call Rudy's. Y'all won't do it together now. Tell him to send me the estimate of what it costs. See how that works, guys? And it makes me look like this big smart guy, but I'm not so smart. You buy a great deal, you put a great team behind it, and either immediately you flip it or later, now we sell it after we've also did a cash out refi and also made money on it as a dadgum rental. Guys, this isn't rocket science. And I didn't know any of this stuff either before I started jumping into coaching, teaching, got a mentor, went to conferences. That's why January 31st is going to be important for you all. A lot of y'all are going to be able to get one-on-one time with us We're going to have a whole day event, this whole meet and greet, and all. They even talk about breakout rooms. I got something special up my sleeve that I'm going to be doing. So again, guys, I implore you guys, man, keep soaking up this information on YouTube, but definitely come and meet us in person, January 31st. The information is all through the chat. It's at popclive.com. I'm put it on the screen, and that stands for Pillars of Prosperity Conference. And simply on this slide, I was just saying, man, who would lend to you on such an ugly property? We would. Anywhere from $100,000 to $100 million. It can be a business, it can be residential, it can be commercial. We're asset-based lenders. I'm a loan broker. That's simply what that means. Just again, that's a big word to say that I got a bunch of rich people behind me that buy real estate. And if you got a great deal and you got 20%, I cover the other 80. And I walk you through the whole process into a closing table. Make sense? Right here again, one more time, if I'm using the right word, that was a beam that was added to be able to open up this space. This added more value to the house. This also added more light and made it brighter. And it felt bigger, but we didn't add any extra square footage, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't add square footage by moving that wall, but it just makes it look so much bigger. And again, really quickly, if you guys want to see this property actually and see what it's listed for, just go to my page on Facebook. You'll see my realtor, Raphael. If you guys want to buy in Warner Robins, Georgia, just tell Raph that I sent you. I don't get paid a dime for it, but he's a great guy, God-fearing man, pastor. Dad's a pastor of a church. Raph probably going to be a pastor soon, right? So in fact, he's already ordained. So but we'll be running a church probably soon because they just opened up a second location right here in Florida, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if Raphael would fall right into that. They got an amazing restaurant in Warner Robins, Georgia. If you ever go, it's called Crave, spelt with a K, right? So again, that was a real estate play for them. Even the restaurant, did he buy it? Did he lease it? Did he rent it? Kind of don't matter. As long as you're doing your vision and your dream out of it, making a profit, serving the community, right? So we'll talk about that. Maybe I'll even have Ralph come on one of these weeks to talk about how do we work together to do this when I live in Florida. I think that'd be valuable, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me key Raphael up. You guys think of some other questions or concerns that you may have, and we'll drill and grill Ralph for a little while. Ralph, what does that look like if I find a property? What is your job? To go see it and FaceTime me when you get there? Now, I'll admit, y'all, I make this look so easy now because guess what? In the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing. So again, don't get this twisted, y'all. Everybody starts from ground zero of learning. You just make yourself look smart once you've done it a couple times. Now, I'll say, hey, Ralph, I just sent you a picture, big bro. Pull it up right now and I'll stay on the phone with you. The address is 123 Main Street. You got it yet, Ralph? Because see, y'all, I'm fast. Ralph, you got it yet? He said, hold on. Mr. Derrick, I'm putting it up now. Ralph, do you see it? Yeah, the 4-2. Ralph, now what you think about that place? Can you go tomorrow? 10 o'clock? Perfect. Now, Ralph, when you go, FaceTime me, right? Guys, in the beginning, I didn't know what to ask Ralph. I didn't know how he would go to the place and show me. Today, it sounds like this. Hey, Ralph, 123 Main Street, go there tomorrow and call me. Because he's a realtor, guys, he got the lockbox code. He can get that from anywhere because he's got the system that gives them that. And because Rudis lives in the same city, my contractor, I've introduced those two together. Ralph, here's Rudis. Rudis, here's Ralph. Y'all work together now. We're a team.
So now he has a partner.
Does that make sense, y'all? Or am I just blabbering? Because my internet connection is also a little crazy right now. What I said, did that just make sense, though? Look how I merged Raphael and Rudis together. R&R. That's a little funny thing that we got going, right? Can two of y'all in the chat tells me that makes sense? Because I want to make sure that I'm just not blabbering there. Can you see how we're able to make this work from afar? So today, because I know Rudis and Raphael, I never have to go. How you think I turn Otis onto doing the same thing as me? Buying houses in Warner Robins and never really have to go. Otis did that, guys. But it was because of Raphael, Rudis, and Miss Karen, RRK. I should start a business called RRK, and this is all we do, but we do it for other people. You know how many people have asked me, Derek, man, could you help me invest out of state? Sure. I'm so busy, bro. Like, hate to say it, but that'll cost you like, now, obviously, now, if you're an IMB Master Blueprint member, I can do a lot of things with you guys, and that's just a part of what y'all package is. But it's some random guy that I've never done business with, or some random person that I've never done business with, they've never bought our coaching, can't even get them to watch the webinar, but you want to do this big deal with me now? That's tough to know that you're even serious. But again, if I got Raphael, who's the realtor, Karen, who's the property manager, who can tell me what the property's worth, what to sell for, what to rent for, guys, I don't know this stuff. I'm in Florida. Man, I wish somebody would tell me that this makes sense. Because again, how can I do this out of state, 7 hours away, and have full confidence that this will work without a team of people? Make sense? So again, last time, man, thank God, and again, big shout out to Raphael, Miss Karen, and Rudis. They'll always be a part of my team because I can't do this without them. And guess who I've told my mobile home idea to now? Raphael. Hey, Raph, I ain't talked to you in a couple of weeks other than, about this house, but guess what we're doing now? So Raphael, in Warner Robins, Georgia, I want you to start building relationships with parks. And Raphael, I want you to give them the spiel that I gave you 5 years ago about what we do, how we help the homeless and the displaced and the needy, and how we do this in a shared living environment. And Raphael, can you tell them that we're looking to build relationships with park managers that will allow us to do this inside of their park? Oh, and by the way, Raphael, I'm also looking for land that these mobile homes sit on their own land and not always have to be inside of a mobile home park. So now Raphael is looking for the very thing that I need again in Warner Robins, Georgia. Because again, for me, that's just a favorite place for me to buy. So forget about me for 2 seconds. Where do you like to buy? Some of y'all put some stuff in the chat right now. Or did I encourage you to buy in Warner Robins? Did I encourage you to buy in Ohio? Did I encourage you to buy in Valdosta, Georgia, Macon, Georgia? Because maybe where you live at is too expensive. That was my first thought. How can I ever buy a house here in Polk County or Orange County? It's too expensive. Let's go to Warner Robins. Let's go to Ohio. Let's go to Mississippi. Let's go to Detroit. All of these places where I can get real estate much more affordable and turn it into something like this. Now, because of there's 3 windows in that room now, Tia, and that stupid wall got knocked down and we added this big open space. Look how the sun's glaring through that wall now, shining all over the floor, all over the wall. You know how much excitement and just positivity that brings to the homeowner now? This house would sit and sit and sit on the market if that wall was still there. And what's so cool about this? Most of y'all are going to watch this from the beginning because this got posted, I think, less than 24, 48 hours ago. Y'all hearing me talk about it today for the first time, and most of y'all seeing the rehab for the first time. Y'all are seeing in real time how even longer it's going to take us to sell this property. Does that make sense? And are you guys seeing how transparent we are to show y'all that we're not stingy with information, whether you agree with this stuff or not? I'm giving you my perspective today. To me, that was a smart decision to spend $1,200 to get rid of that stupid wall. Natural light, like Tia says, coming through now. And even though in some of these pictures, you will see how those little lights are just kind of hanging, but all lights also got replaced from those ugly, worn out 1970 lights. So even like what you see on the ceiling right now, we already put the LEDs in it, but all the trim and that whole light got replaced, y'all. You can get that from Home Depot for like $10, $9. Beautiful light. And it's trimmed in chrome. The whole house got that. And then in that same room right here, you can't see it yet. Let me see, because I'm on the other side of it, but there's a fan that we actually added in that room as well, because it didn't have a fan. They only had this ugly light. Guys, we put a 52 or what was that, a 64? I don't know my measurements, Tia. I think that was a 52 or 64-inch fan. Beautiful, that mimicked the floor. So little simple things like that. Now we put that oatmeal color on the walls, trimmed it in that white paint. Beautiful now. So for that family that asked me to just play this one more time, you just simply watch us do what we would call the burst strategy. It's just one of many strategies that is in real estate, and we coach it. Most people know us for the ILF model, the shared housing, right? And that's our ILF Master Blueprint. But when you become a Blueprint member, you get all of this coaching. That's the cool thing about the Blueprint. You get everything that we've ever learned. And if you're trying to do it, I'm going to put my 2 cents in it, right? And then I also introduce you to other people that are better at this than I am. But again, I would be crazy to try to teach you and talk about this if I've never done it. And that's what kind of ticks me off a little bit about some people that teach stuff. They've never done it. They're only talking to you about concept. Guys, I can drive y'all to this house. Does that make sense? I got the pictures to prove that we own it. You can look it up. We bought it, we rehabbed it, and now we're selling it. So again, I don't know about y'all, but those are the kind of people I like to learn from who've been through the whole process. How you gonna learn from somebody that's never bought a house? How you can learn from somebody about fixing a house that they never fixed and flipped one? How you gonna learn from how to renovate a property out of state when the guy that you talking to only do this in his backyard or the city he live in? He can't talk to you about relationship with a realtor, a property management company, and the contractor. But me, I can. And how did you merge Rudy's, Raphael, and Karen all together? Relationship. Hey, Karen, here's my realtor. Lucky for me, y'all work together anyway. And by the way, here's my Mr. Fix It, because y'all, I don't fix nothing. And I'm 7 hours from all of y'all. But right now, I trust all of y'all to be part of my team because we'll do this many times. See my language already? I'm speaking in faith. We'll do this many times, Raphael. We'll do this many times, Miss Karen. We'll do this many times, Rudy's. Rudy's, with you doing work that looks like this, bro, you're my guy, and I'll never look for another guy ever again, bro. And what I like about Rudy's, no matter how busy he is, if I got a project, he'll slide me right in. Relationship. Because why? I paid on time. I didn't argue. I didn't cut corners. I just said, well, Rudy's, I know my bill due today, but can we start that other project and I pay you in 2 weeks? He want his money just like I want my money. He want his money just like I want my jobs done. And again, this is the finishing touches on it, guys, when we added the refrigerator and the stove to it. So again, for the last time, you guys just watched a real live burst strategy, buying a property that you can rent to the homeless, the displaced, Section 8. And guys, none of this money came from my pocket. We use credit cards and business credit. Okay. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to finish these pictures, then I'm going to get you guys out of here. I'm going to check the chat. So if you haven't asked a question or you've been thinking of something, now's a good time. I'm going to spend the next 2 minutes finishing these slides just to let that last family see it. And then I'm going to check the chat for another 1 minute and 13 seconds. And after that, I'm gone unless there's questions in the chat, because I will absolutely answer those. And you guys asked the question about the burst strategy in terms of what the words mean again. And I'll put that up again really quickly. But the burst strategy means buy it, renovate it, rent it to somebody, refinance it through us or through a bank, or through an asset-based lender. Even if you don't go through us, don't go to Bank of America. Let me teach you something. Go to an asset-based lender. And if you don't like me for whatever reason, I got tons of people I can refer you to. See, I'm still a nice guy. You can't beat me nowhere around, guys. Even if you don't like me, say, Derek, I like this, but I don't want to go through you, bro. Give me somebody else. No problem. I don't want you to go to Bank of America, Wells Fargo, or Chase. Go to an asset-based lender. They're called loan brokers. Most people won't do that. They want you to come to them if you don't, you know what I mean? Come to me, please. But if not, I'll tell you where to go, or I can make a referral for you. Make sense, everybody? All right, that's it. So I'm going to go to the chat. And if there's no questions in the chat, I'm going to thank you guys. I'm going to tell you that I love you like a fat kid loves cake. I'm going to pray you guys out of here, and then I'm going to let y'all go. So I'm in the chat. Let's see. Tia says a lot of natural light makes sense there. Terry says, what about land to develop new construction, single family, or land for mobile or tiny homes? Great idea. Great idea. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, I've been in a room that I share every Sunday morning with a group that's called the Real Estate Wealth Chat. And for the last 3 weeks, 3 different women, you can't make this up, had this same idea. But what we told them is this. A lot of times people have these big conglomerate dreams and they're kind of nowhere near doing something of that magnitude. So we try to scale them back a little bit. So nothing wrong with that idea in terms of future tense, but just prime example for somebody to tell me, and trust me, Terry, this isn't for you per se, right? By yourself. But let's just say, Terry, if you've never bought a piece of real estate, Terry, if you've never rented or leased a house before,
did a rehab at all, yeah.
If you've never actually ran a business, no LLCs, that's a large chunk of that elephant to try to bite in one chunk versus going to rent or lease a house to even see if you want to do this and start in one residential home. Because guess what? This was my vision also many years ago, to buy a multi-unit building, to have 35 buildings over here, 15 buildings over here, a building over here for staff. Guys, that's a big goal. Nothing wrong with it. But a lot of times, if you make a goal that's too big, that's unattainable, it'll crush you and a lot of people give up. So we told these 3 women that and every one of these women saw a building that was over $2 million. So again, if you can imagine what that sounded like to a guy like me that's been in business a little while, that started from renting a house, because my dream was also to buy $1 million building. Guys, why not go and rent a place for $1,500, connect with social workers and case managers to fill the daggone place and start there? So again, Terry, now if you're on that level, great, let's go. But you're somebody that I would even tell that if you've never done any of the above of what I just said, that idea, I will write it down, because the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain so that he that readeth it can run with it. So one day, Terry, we can run with that vision. Does that make sense, Terry, or just anybody that's listening? And it's just so funny because you're now the 4th person in less than 2 weeks that is giving me a vision or an idea of something that you want to do that is so large that if you're not already got like a rich uncle, or you didn't hit the lottery last week, or this is already kind of where you're at, this can be a big goal that could intimidate you, that causes a lot of people to quit.
And Derek, what I want to add to that is that a lot of people don't prepare themselves or position themselves mentally. A lot goes into those big projects. So like prime example, I've been able to do something like a project like this, I think it was like $10.9 or $10.5 million project. And it's on commercial, right? It's commercial hospital. So there's a whole bunch of different regulations and rules.
But this
and
is when she was at a job as an employee.
This is when I was an employee at a hospital. I actually was, I spearheaded along with with all of the other teams that operated within this, but I had more say so because it directly affected departments that I oversaw. But what people don't realize is when you get into the magnitude of land development, even in fixing and flipping, people don't realize that the lenders are going to request they want to know your background. They want to know how many times you fixed and flipped anything. Right. They want to know that. They want to see proof that it's been done. So when you talk about getting into the development space, funny that you even said that, because we have a meeting this week, Derek, with a huge developer.
They want experience.
They want experience, but we're actually meeting this week with a multi-million dollar, developer. This is what he does. He builds, he builds sub-cities within Orlando, within Florida, and sure outside of Florida, but we're actually meeting with them this week. And these are some of the questions, like, again, you want to force the partnerships, because a lot of people don't realize you can buy land all day, but what goes into the infrastructure, right? Yeah. Permitting is an issue. You've got to make sure that when you're buying it, that permitting, where is it at? Is it like prime example? We know someone right now, and this same gentleman that we're talking about, there's a plot of land not far from where we live, and it's split between 2 counties. So what's now happening? They can't do anything because they've got to try and get it rezoned. So you got to look at all of these little intricate pieces, especially when you're looking at going that route to buy and then starting to go and pull permits and start, zoning and all of that stuff. And not even that, but infrastructure. What does it cost you to start making sure that you can reach city lines, right? What does that look like? And this is the information, and this is the resources that you will need when you get into that space. So land development, although it seems very fun, and it's something that we definitely would love to do, and that's why we're partnering and going to glean from someone that's doing it on a way larger scale,
because he's got
us.
the experience,
right?
Because sometimes, like Shay spoke earlier, like the lender wants to know your experience. What if we can partner with a guy like this who has all the land development experience in the world? I don't need it now.
Correct.
So hopefully that makes sense to you all. And again, that wasn't a knock on anybody, but just more of an encouragement
and information. So prime example, listen to this. And here's a piece of information. If you can find a developer, someone that develops big projects, you can just ask to shadow. You don't have to do a darn thing. But if you shadow them on different projects, that's a part of your resume. Ding, 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 ding. You don't have to buy anything, right? It's all about, again, fostering those relationships. Stand by that person's side, get some insight, get some information, and figure out, find out what goes into the process. Because a lot of people, they get land and then they find out that the land's not usable, right? Like what we were talking about something not too long ago in soil testing. A lot of people don't realize that that's the thing. You got to make sure that your ground is suitable for building on, right? There's a lot of things that happen in this. And if you buy land that cannot bear the weight of infrastructure, you've bought wasted land. So there's a lot of information. There's
and of course, you would also get an
that.
inspection for that as well. I'm not sure if Terry was on here the other day when I pulled up a mobile home park that was only, I'll put it that way, $80,000. But the park also didn't allow you to add additional mobile homes. So to me, that was not a good deal, right? So in fact, I'm actually in training right now, and it's a lot about mobile homes and the mobile homes that are on land. And I'm in a part of one of the training right now where there's a gentleman that's not like some of us that want to buy mobile homes in parks. He only wants to buy mobile homes on their own land. Right. And he's talking about how much money goes into that infrastructure when the well and septic is not in place. Mm-hmm. So Terry, let me give you some free coaching right now and some great advice. When you're looking for land for something like what you mentioned, I would, because I'm doing this right now, I would look for land where the septic and the well system is already in place, right? Sometimes, and even write this down, this is for everybody. Write this term down. This is called shovel ready. A lot of times when you buy land, if you hear the term shovel ready, that means all the infrastructure, the things by the city sometimes has already been done. Now, obviously, still do your due diligence, and that's another word to write down. Do your due diligence. But a lot of times when you hear people advertise land that is shovel ready, that means that it's ready to go. Like it's already been through certain things like soil testing, and like it's a buildable lot at this point. But again, don't even let that comment override me telling you always do your due diligence in terms of what that land can be used for. Because I'm also somebody right now that wants, like I put it out. And one thing about me, I believe in speaking things into existence. So that's why I also like the fact, Terry, that you're doing that. And that's why I want to prove that point, that this wasn't like me giving you a pow. I'm almost encouraging it because I believe in speaking things into an existence until it actually happens. So I'm telling people right now that I'm looking for land that can accommodate 8 to 15 mobile homes. And I want the well and septic to already be on site. If it's not, I at least want the septic to be on site. We can talk about the well, right? And that can come as I'm doing my thing. But just personally, in terms of what I know and what I'm learning, I want the septic to actually already be there. Okay? And that's just kind of what I'm learning from my research. I'd rather put the well in over the septic. And if I'm mixing it up, somebody tell me in the chat. But I know that one of them is actually a little bit more expensive. And what I'm learning is that I'd rather the septic already be in place and we can figure the well thing out. Okay? So that would be my advice. If you're looking for land and your idea is the tiny home, the container homes, those steel structure things, what do they call them? Shipping containers. He put something else in there. Mobile homes. I would look for land that's already shovel ready and already equipped with what they also call utilities in place. So that power pole, water from the city, Like, that's what I want. I don't want raw land per se. Okay. So I'm still going through the chat. Tia asked a question and said, did I have to put a tent over the house for the termites? No, Tia. Luckily, they had already done that, but the damage was already done.
And in the state of Georgia, they have to give us a certificate that is completed.
And that's what I was going next.
So we get that pest control certificate, and that's a part of the seller's agreement. So it's a lot that goes into it. If even during the inspection that is found, we can make that a condition in the in the agreement that's either done before we close, or they take off. We based on the estimate of a reputable pest control company, we mitigate offset the payment of the house for that particular project being done.
Gotcha. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, guys, we're dropping a lot of gems tonight. And what's so crazy is that it's 10 o'clock, and I'm just realizing I've been here for 3 hours. And I'll admit, it don't feel like it. Now my throat feels like it a little bit, because y'all know I talk loud. I be yelling and screaming because I get excited. But in time, it don't even feel like it's 10 o'clock. Like, that's crazy. So that also lets me know that I need to get the heck up out of here. Terry says, got a seller I purchased a mobile home from who has 8 acres that is zoned for mobile homes, single family, or tiny homes. I'm looking to hold it. Shay, let me finish. And it's a he. I'm looking to partner with investors. This land has septic and water. Very cool. So, Terry, if I remember, you're the gentleman that's in South Carolina. So you're probably close to Katara, and you're in where I would call the mobile home capital. So what I'm finding out is that mobile homes, in terms of South Carolina, you guys are like the hub. You guys are like the staple for mobile homes. I didn't know that. So Terry, let me know if you knew that. Katara, let me know if you knew that. I didn't. But it makes sense, because there's a lot of mobile homes. Like, when you even just look up mobile homes in South Carolina and the cost, that lets you know that it's crazy. So Terry, tell me this, that land or the house that you bought, did you only buy the mobile home and need to relocate it, or did it come with the 8 acres? Okay, because you said, got a seller, I purchased a mobile, so past tense, that means that you purchased it from who has 8 acres that is zoned. So maybe he has it. Okay. Yeah, let me know in the chat. Single family, tiny homes. I'm looking to partner with investors. So same spiel. Like, nothing wrong with this idea of partnering. Just depends on what you're offering, what you're looking for, right? Obviously, if you was an ILF Master Blueprint member, I'd jump on a call with you tonight, right? But I got a lot of people that send us deals, and, I catered a lot of that to, my family, people that I call IMB members. But just put in the chat. I would love to just see what you're talking about. I'm not sure if you've ever had a discovery call with me before or not. Everybody gets a free discovery call after watching the webinar. And now if you've had that, just spill your guts in the chat if you don't mind. He says, I thank you for your wisdom. Thank you. I appreciate you soaking it up, especially when I feel like I'm not just saying it and it's going nowhere. So I love it when you guys tell me that. Tia says lots of gems. Thank you so much. Shay came in and dropped Shay dropped a gem that was so big. I don't know if you guys realize how big of a gem it was. It was that Section 8 gem. I guarantee you right now, that gem was so big that I could take 10 Section 8 people right now that house people in Section 8, and I guarantee you 7 of them out of the 10 don't know that gem Shay dropped. And that will argue and get in trouble with the Section 8, talking about, I ain't gonna put no stainless steel refrigerator in here. I know I had one, but now they get this white refrigerator. Not with Section 8. You got to give them what you started with. Yeah. So, in fact, Shay, bless them again. If anybody just joined us, Shay, drop that gem about Section 8, because we deal with a lot of people that are in real estate. And I don't want nobody to miss this gem. Shay, drop that gem again.
Yeah. So first and foremost, I don't know if you all know, but there's a high, there's a shortage for Section 8 operators, right, or providers, and that's across the nation. So do your due diligence on that and see how you can assist. Secondly, if you are renting to a Section 8 resident, Section 8 rules prohibit you to downgrade an appliance. So prime example, if something goes wrong with my Samsung stainless steel, double, French door with the glass see-through doodiggery type of fridge. I cannot downgrade that resident to just a stainless steel fridge. I have to replace for a like item, something comparable
or better.
You cannot
can't
scale
go down.
You have to scale up.
And let me put it in layman's terms. If you do like me and go buy that stainless steel refrigerator, and just say the tenant tears it up, it breaks up, you didn't get the warranty. Shay believe we get a warranty on everything, so we good there. But if it tears up and you get mad, you say, man, you know what? I got that stainless steel last time. I ain't doing that. I'm gonna go to Scratch and Dent and get one for $199. No, you can't. Not if it's Section 8. No, you can't. They'll stop your monthly check just like that. Because if the tenant complains about it, because watch this now. Yeah. The tenant actually may not know this, but a lot of them are so up on game on it, they know it.
Yeah.
And if they got a good social worker or case manager that's helping them with this place, and if they come and do a walkthrough by chance and see your black refrigerator, your white Kenmore refrigerator, and you had that Samsung digital one in there, Teal, you got to replace it back with that or better. So that was a major gem. I hope somebody appreciates that, because even if you do Section 8 right now, don't go buy that stainless steel, guys, if you don't want to maintain that. That's what Shay telling you, really. Go get the white refrigerator, no problem, but start out with the white one from Scratch and Dent, no problem. But don't go to dadgum Lowe's and get the one for $1,600, and then just because you mad or you just, man, you know what, man, I ain't doing that again. And then you want to go get that white one from the yard sale? That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work, okay? Terry says, love Forston Consultants, man. Thank y'all so much. Mobile home came with half an acre. Love that, man. This is another property. The same seller has 8 acres. Good stuff, man. Sounds like you're doing, Terry, what we talk about. Sounds like relationship.
I can also
You've already bought one.
I'll even point Terry in another direction as well. There's a gentleman out of Alabama by the name of Jeremy Wanger.
Yeah.
You might want to connect with him. Jeremy Wanger, just like I said.
He gonna kill me because he keeps trying to get with me
tonight.
And so I'm so crazy busy with what we doing. He think I'm ducking him and I'm not. So I just gotta call him and say, Jay, man, I'm not ducking you, bro. I'm in my zone, and he do something that's in a different lane, but it's with tiny homes.
Yeah.
And he's trying to figure out a way how we merge it. So Shay is giving you a gem right now.
Yeah,
Terry, if I was you, I'd grab a pencil.
Jeremy Wanger. W-A-G.
W-E.
It really is.
I think it's W-G. Winger.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. W-E-N. In fact, if you look him up on Instagram, he's called The Tiny Home Plug.
Yep.
The Tiny Home Plug. And every blue moon, you'll catch him on Clubhouse. Again, The Tiny Home Plug. This is what he does, bro. Like, he specializes in meeting people like you that have the land or what you're about to get. And how can you put tiny homes?
And he even has a team that'll help you. Like, prime example, let's talk about what we were talking about initially, looking at land. He actually has the team that will go out and assist you in even the permitting and you know, if you have to do some zone and stuff like that.
He's
like
also good at speaking with the city officials in your area too, so that when you don't know the language and the lingo, and tell him I sent you. That'd be a good referral for me, because he'll be like, oh, Derek sent you?
Yeah.
Because he think I'm just... he sent me a message today. I'm like, dang, Jay, like, and he think I'm just, but Jay, he's right. He said, bro, you really? Yes, Jay, I'm busy. Like, I'm crazy busy. And what's so funny? He's got this saying that when you ask him how he's doing, if I brought him on right now and say, Jay, how you doing, big bro? He said, bro, I am busier than a one-legged man in a butt kicking contest. That's his favorite saying. But he just don't know it. I'm that busy right now. Yeah. And he also, Jay's been trying to partner with us since my brother was around. But what he don't know, a lot of people don't know, since Otis has passed, a lot of things have doubled up on Shay and I. Yeah. And we got to clean up some stuff and do things, and things are just different. And we had to
we are gonna
rebrand too. So that took a while. He don't know that took a whole year. My brother's been going a year, y'all. Right? So that's rebranding. Pushing Shay out further on stage when we travel, things of that nature. People were used to seeing my big fat brother. right? I love that Joker. Boy, I miss him so much. But Shay has filled in those shoes tremendously, but just from a different angle, right? And he want a partner. So Terry, you're exactly what he's looking for.
Yeah.
I'm just so busy right now, but he would love the fact that if you hit him up, especially if you told him that it came from me, he would really appreciate that. Because he'll know that I'm keeping you in the loop.
I'm gonna make sure you call him.
No, I am too, because I don't want him to think that I'm just not like I'm mad or something. No, I'm busy. And then like there's a certain lane that he wanna go. That's kind of not my lane right now. And I'll be honest, y'all, I'm real good at, I'll reword it. I'm not good at a lot of stuff, but what I am good at is staying in my lane. No matter what y'all hear me talk about, it's going to all revert back to real estate, shared housing, and housing the displaced, the homeless, and the person that can't afford an apartment or their own house. In some form or way, I'm going to be involved in real estate, selling, buying, wholesaling options. And then when you bring something that kind of doesn't line up at the moment, so it's just timing. And a great example is a big bro of mine gave the example the other day, Roundtree family. I hope Daryl's on here. He gave a great example about it's like jumping rope. You know how you have to time it before you jump in? That's what it is with Jeremy. The timing of what he's wanting to do is just kind of not there. But I gotta let him hear from me though, because I want him to get, and he won't call me either. He can't hit me with my messenger. He'll hit my messenger, but that's my brother. Oh, also, Jeremy's got over an hour and a half interview on my page way back. So you got to go back. Now, I don't know if YouTube allows you to type it in, but if you're on my YouTube channel and you type in Jeremy Winger or the Tiny Home Plug, his whole interview should pop up. I hope YouTube allows that. I'm not sure. But I want y'all to watch that in terms of what he does. And just think, that's been what, Shay, 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
It's been about 3.
So think about where he's even involved until now. So Terry, I hope you had a pen and paper during that point. And if for anybody that want to learn about, again, what we do in terms of shared housing, real estate in general, wholesaling, we do a little bit of all of that. This is the quickest way to be able to get to us, guys, is to watch that webinar. Then you're going to text the phrase "more info" to the phone number 407-326-0086. And I'm scrolling that right now at the bottom of the screen. If you text that phrase "more info" to that phone number, that'll give you our introductory webinar. I just kind of hung out and treated you guys like family tonight. So I hope you guys appreciated that. I came from a completely different angle tonight. I didn't talk a lot about shared housing. I talked more just about real estate in general and that burst strategy. So I hope you guys appreciated that and got something different from us tonight. I'm just excited about it because, again, you guys drive these questions and it came from you all. Had y'all not asked this stuff, my team don't build it. So now I'm noticing a lot of you all want to see the rehab that Shay did of her house, which a lot of you guys did see it, but a lot of y'all that are new to us, you've never seen it. Not in the depth that we're going to show you, meaning me all down in the pool when it was nasty and green and grimy to the beautiful pool deck that it is today. So again, we encourage you guys to watch that. And at some point, if you know that this is what you want to do, I mean, you just absolutely know and you want our coaching, I would implore you to text the word scholarship, because that can also give a discount in terms on one of the coaching products that you choose. We have 3 of them: the ILF Mastery Blueprint, the ILF Mastery Accelerator, and the ILF Mastery Do-It-Yourself version, right? So there's 3 coaching packages. You guys can check those out at forsterconsultants.com/products and services. Check out all 3 of those plans and whichever one you want. If you know you want one of those, text that word scholarship. That'll lead to a phone call with me and my team to talk about which one you want it and how much of a discount actually is available for you, right? So I think that's it for me. I did promise to finish reading that chat. Let me see. He says he'll reach out to him. Perfect. Let me see. Yeah, I think everything else was just pretty much comments. And guys, it's been a long time since I did a 3-hour room. So
good night, y'all. I love y'all. I'm out.
Really got it out of me tonight.
Shay's out.
Shay gave her salutation. She's out of here. And let me see. Okay, yeah. So the last thing was kind of like what you had said earlier, Terry, about let's partner to buy some land for new construction and shared living. So again, I kind of got my hands in a little bit of everything. And again, most of things like that are usually just privy to my IMB members. Because again, that just gives me time to just jump into their stuff, right? So if Tia was to text that tonight, Hervins, Magna, it's a bunch of you all in here that if you all were, and not to again pick on Terry, but my IMB members, that if you guys were to take something, we jump on a call tonight. Like I want to analyze that deal. I want to talk about it. I want to put my team on it. I want to put my knowledge in it. So that's a part of our coaching. So our coaching isn't just me coaching you on shared housing. My coaching is also leading and guiding you into even ideas of like what you're talking about now, Terry. And Terry, what's cool though, you've been talking about joining us. So I hope that you do see the value in tonight. Maybe God had me put this out tonight just for you, Terry, for you to see the depth of the coaching and how deep it goes, even in a different direction. So Terry, I appreciate you, brother. You've been with us for a minute now, and you also chimed in right even before we went live. So you've been with me for the whole 3 hours, man. So we appreciate that, Terry. It's people like you, man, that make this channel. And it's people like you that keep us kind of going, right? Because if I didn't have Terry's and you guys asking all of these questions, I'd have nothing to also strive for and to keep teaching and pouring into. Because remember what my promise was. God, I'll go all over the world teaching this stuff, right? And I'll take no credit. But without an audience, that could be kind of boring. So I could still do it to an empty room of people or to an empty YouTube. But when you guys come and join and spend your time here away from your family or your job, I really appreciate that. So again, my name is Derek Forston. I improved this entire message. I love you guys like a fat kid loves cake. I'm going to pray you guys out of here. And I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow at 7 p.m. if nothing jumps in the way. As you guys know, we're about 99% faithful to coming live 3 days a week. The only day that we kind of slip on sometime is Tuesdays. And again, we got a big day tomorrow. A lot of appointments, bank appointments, social work appointments, mobile home appointments, rehab people to go and see and meet about what can they do for me, blah, blah, blah. So I'm a busy guy if you hadn't noticed. But again, if you are an IMB member, none of them can tell you that they can even tell how busy I am because they get my absolute 100% attention and the one-on-one coaching that we promise. But nevertheless, Father God, thank you so much for the seed that was sown tonight and the ability to give what you gave me. God, you allowed me to go through a lot of stuff and a lot of coaching and a lot of mistakes to get us where we are today. And God, I say thank you for that. God, thank you for placing the right people in my path, Shay and I. Thank you for the coaches, the consultants that pour into us that allow us to be so great. And Father God, most important, thank you for having your hand upon me and the Forston family. And again, God, thank you for allowing me to share what you so graciously just given me. So Father God, again, by your Holy Spirit, bring all of this information back to their remembrance. Allow them not to forget it and allow them to succeed in it. Allow it not to be confusing. God, give these people the mind of Christ and are able-bodied to do exactly what you've called them to do, which is house the homeless, house the needy, house the displaced, house the elderly adults, and do it in a shared living environment. And Father God, we'll be ever so careful to give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. And Father God, right now, release all the real estate to us. Release every resource. Release real estate, social workers, case managers, construction crews, great people, good people that have our interest and that love you as God. God, again, we give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. And now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. You guys be great. If you believe that, say amen. Again, if you believe that, say amen. You guys be great, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. Hey, what's going on, family? Have you ever imagined starting your own housing program? That's probably why you're here. And if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, like you're kind of getting right now, but in a more of a one-on-one setting, just you and I, that's our ILF Mastery Blueprint. There's a number that they're scrolling below on this screen right now. If you text the word scholarship to that phone number, my team is going to get you some information. So first of all, I'm going to say congratulations and thank you for moving at the speed of instruction. We look forward to working with you. And again, this is only for people that desire our one-on-one coaching, which is designed to watch you succeed from going from a zero to a hero when it comes to information and knowing how to implement this independent living facility model without any mistakes. That's most important. So again, our ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, there's a scholarship that's available for it that'll slice the price in half, which is also a no-brainer. So again, if you've ever desired to start your own housing program, but you thought you needed a license. You don't. You thought you had to be a nurse. You don't. You thought you had to own the property. You don't. Consider our ILF Master Blueprint, where we are going to take you to success and let God use you in your community, housing the homeless and the displaced. Let's get back to the show. Hey, what's going on, family? I hope you guys are enjoying the content, but I just want to let you know there's still time to apply for the scholarship for the ILF Mastery Blueprint, and that's our one-on-one coaching. So there's a lot that comes with it. So I'm just going to guide you guys to the website so that you can kind of check it out for yourself after we're done here. So you're going to visit forstonconsultants.com. Then you're going to click the tab that says Products and Services. The first thing that's going to pop up is the ILF Mastery Blueprint. Click that tab that says Learn More, and it's literally going to give you step-by-step instruction of what you can do, and it's real easy, of how you can apply and win the scholarship to apply to the price so that you can get our one-on-one coaching here at Forston Consultants. Let's get back to the content. Hey, what's going on, family? I super hope you guys are enjoying this information, but let's just say you want more one-on-one coaching, just like what you're receiving now. You're actually looking for our ILF Mastery Blueprint. So that's our hand-holding one-on-one coaching, where that's what most of the people that come to us, that's what they want. They don't want to just watch me on YouTube all the time, right? They want me in their back pocket for one-on-one coaching. And what's super powerful about it right now, that there's a scholarship that's actually available that brings that down to only $7,500, a long ways from the normal price of the 15 grand. So even doing this live right now, if you guys text IMB below, my team can send you over some information. But nevertheless, definitely go over and see forstonconsultants.com and check us out there as well. Let's get back to the show.
Have you ever wanted to open your own group home? Were you told that you needed a license from the state? Were you told that you had to hire staff? You were probably told that you had to own the property, right? Let Forston Consultants introduce you to Independent Living Facilities, ILF, which are group homes that do not require a license, staff, and you don't have to own the property. At Forston Consultants, we walk you through the entire process of how to operate your own independent living facility. We don't just give you a bunch of videos to watch on your own, which could get confusing. Here is what you need to do next, in this order. Step number 1, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Forston Consultants for tons of secrets on how to start your own independent living facility. Step 2, sign up for our webinar at forstonconsultants.com to learn more about this great opportunity. Step number 3, purchase our best-selling book, How to Open an Independent Living Facility in 10 Easy Steps. Step number 4, contact us for your free consultation so you can quit your boring job in the next 90 days.